Welcome to the official first Quidditch Champions Tournament, the QC Comp Tryout Cup. Now, I just wanted to come out here and tell everyone that this is going to be a scuffed thing, a very, very scuffed thing. The game doesn't have custom games. It doesn't have a spectator. We have done what we can to go around that, but as I'm sure everyone in the chat understands, there will be some issues, and we'll try to resolve them as soon as we can. If everything goes smoothly from the very start, that'll be a miracle, but I'll be happy with it. However, we're going with what we have. And if you want the bracket, I can repost the bracket here. And we will be starting with our first match, which will be... Can I pin it? Oh yeah, I can pin it. There we go. And the first match will be Broomstick Bandits versus Portkey Pioneers. And to cast the match, and by the way, from now on you don't have to hear my voice anymore. You will be getting actual casters here. We will be moving on to the games. Enjoy, and your first casters that you will be seeing are none other than Flyrish and BlueDeepDive. Have fun.
I'll redo the whole intro, I guess. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on this exciting tournament that we are going to have today. All the scuff is going to happen. At this point, we're just going to rock with it. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. I know a lot of people have been excited for this all week. A lot of talk has been going on. A lot of people have been talking. A lot of people want to go against certain teams. We're here for it all. We'll be happy to commentate it to you. I am Flyrish, and on the stream to my right, we have BlueDeepDive. Blue, how are you doing today?
Hey guys, feeling really good. Really excited to see all these games. I see a lot of familiar names, high-level players, so should be very, very fun to see how the matches turn out.
Absolutely. We definitely have some good ones on the board. All right, so it looks like up front we have Portkey Pioneers and Broomstick Bandits. Now, to give a rundown of those two, for Broomstick Bandits, we have Phoenix, THC, Jinx, and you, Hest. I believe some of these teams were in the, or some of these players were in the play test, but I do believe some of them are new as well. You Hest actually being Pickles for those that don't know. And then for Portkey Pioneers, we have... I don't have them listed on this sheet, so should be good with anyways.
There's a pass. Keep moving it downfield.
Oh, David ERB, Delirio, and Saftia. So
He lost the quaffle.
we are a little framey on our video that you hear, but it looks like there is a bunch of chasers going back and forth. That's a huge thing, I believe, Blue, that in this game is that chasers just keeping the ball from really going far into the other side of things in this build. Chasers are very OP. Someone unfortunately getting knocked off their broom. Safidi 08 with the first score coming off our tournament. How important do you think it is as far as chasers to keep the defense up, Blue, and keep the quaffle away from the keeper as much as possible?
I think it's very key. I was going to mention that seems like at the very beginning, the momentum is very high. You have to keep the ball on the other side of the field at all costs. Because sometimes if you just let it come to your side, it's very hard to get it away. Chasers are very good at stealing the quaffle. Oh, they're getting very close to scoring right here. Oh, very nice. We're seeing a lot of chasers going through the rings.
We got Pickles on here. Now, Pickles is actually a very good combo between Keeper and Chaser, obviously dominating most of the deals. Right now, Keeper is the most impactful role all over the game. As you can see it, that's Feedy here grabbing the quaffle, passing it off to Delirio. Delirio going in for it, and it is stopped by Pickles, passing to himself. He will have a lot of impact on today's game. Jinx taking it upfield. Not passing it in. Oh, not passing it in time. Getting stolen by Safidi.
Oh, shovel pass right there. Very nice.
And
the sneaker's out on the field. How important is it right now to focus? How much resources do you put Flyrish right now? if you're going after the
I think
snitch.
right now in a low-scoring game, except where one team is down by 20, you put a lot of resources in it. You gotta let your keeper make some moves, try to get some extra scores for you. If you're the beater, you're really kind of trying to take out the keeper. There you go. We got one score in for the blue team, or sorry, for Portkey Pioneers. Get a good 10. As a beater, you really gotta help your seeker, but you gotta help your keeper as well. You gotta throw some to just not let them write up the score as you try to get the seeker. But right now, Broomstick Bandits,
Should catch the snitch here. Very, very
I
close. But
believe
anything
so,
can
which would
happen.
get them up. Yes, anything could happen, but he has full health. He does catch it. Phoenix gets it, putting Broomstick Bandits up by 20.
Still very close, as the snitch will come back very soon. So right now, all the
Yes.
focus going back to the Quaffle game.
Great follow-up on the dive. Not getting the dive, but Porky Pioneer still with a great follow-up.
He makes the shot.
And Safety 08 getting it in for Porky Pioneers, getting the score closer. 10-point game. Very good up front. Already just past the halfway point.
Seemed like they're going for a trick shot there, but he saw an opening and he went for it, and it paid off. Went through the rings.
What a hit. What a
Some backwards passing now. That's some tech to see very early in here. With a shot from David ERB. Coming in hot. The game is tied 40-40 with only a little over 3 minutes left. This has been a very back and forth so far. But there will be another snitch coming out in a minute, so we'll have to see what the score is looking like from there.
I'm seeing a lot of shuffle passes. I mean, what do you think they should do if that's going to continue to be a problem? They can't get the Quaffle with all these shuffle passes going on.
The shuffle passes, I mean, people are just going to have to play a lot more pressure defense. Phoenix getting the Quaffle off before hit by the Bludger, scoring 10. Broomstick Bandits breaking the tie.
That's a pass to a teammate.
Really
Based
up
on the
now.
way the
Pickles-
match is going, go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah? No, please.
Based on how the match is going right now, I think really the score is so close, the next snitch could decide it.
It could,
As-
but Broomstick Bandits killing the keeper on the other end, giving Phoenix a free shot at the goal. This next snitch will be extremely important for Portkey Pioneers. And even more now as the score changes to 30.
If the Porky Pioneers do get it right now, they could end the game.
That is true. Right now, we are looking at a possible tie with a snitch or a game ender. If you are the team up by 80 right now, I think you put all in on the snitch. It just confirmed your win.
Right now, everything matters in the snitch game. Everything on both
Indeed.
sides to stay in the game or to finish it. So it's so unpredictable what happens. Coordination is key. Chasers can punch the seeker, stun him for a second. It could set up a bludger hit. Oh, and it's so
Indeed.
close right now.
Yes, this is going to be a huge snitch for both teams. One keeps the game alive. One ends the tournament day for the other team. We are down at the very end here.
Both
Who
snitch meters
will
are
catch
full.
it? They're full.
Oh,
But it is, wow! The tiebreaker, it may be down to one final shot. There may even still be enough time for two. Bludgers are out. Low health on one side of the
nice
field.
steal right there.
What a great pass.
What a clutch steal.
That's
The
a
ball
pass to
going
a
into
teammate.
David's hands, passing it back to Safety. It looks like Safety is who they trust with the score, but Pickles getting a ultra clutch stop here, sending it back out to himself, looking upwards for Jinx.
This could be the game right here.
He is dodging, he is weaving, he is looking for a pass over to Pickles, over to Phoenix, with a score with only 15 left. This is going to be extremely difficult as the keeper will hold the Quaffle. It's probably looking out of hand for Portkey Pioneers. They got to take it upfield very quickly. They got 5 seconds left. I believe the ball was just stolen or kicked away, and I believe that is Portkey Pioneers with Pickles Phoenix. What a game. What a game. Ladies and gentlemen, what a close game to start up with. Let's hear first off. Give some GGs in the chat for both teams, putting on a great performance to start up with. As you said, Blue, you know, the snitch race was extremely important to that whole thing. How do you feel about both sides and just, you know, what it means? There was some good keeper battles in there too.
There was a clutch save at the very end.
There was
The keeper side and set up for, hey, your keeper's got to block it too, and unfortunately, it did not happen. So that was the difference right there. Surprisingly, the keeper stops at the very end.
That's right. I do believe it was Pickles with the very clutch stop there at the end and kicking it out and getting it to a final game-ending score.
Sonorous! Welcome, witches and wizards! KingFisher, how are we feeling?
Feeling really good, feeling excited, you know, first public tournament, definitely happy to get into the action here. We already saw an incredible game number 1. I don't know how game 2 is going to pass it up, but I'm definitely excited to see what these two teams have in store. I'm hoping to see some strategic differences, you know, as the game keeps going on, as we see more matches, can really see the individual team playstyles come out. I think that's what I'm ready for most, and it looks like we are finally getting into game here. Bashful Bowtruckles and Firebolts.
We're off to the races here to start. Bashful Bowtruckles trying to start off with their aggression. Firebolts, can they respond with their own? Already a vicious bludger shot keeps them down low, and Firebolts soaring high with the score. One quaffle already in there for their side.
Yeah, how about that for a fast start? The Firebolts are the fastest broom, and this team is the faster players right now. The quaffle spawn back in. Interested to see how the Bashful Bowtruckles are going to respond here. Like you said, already one big bludger shot, but can we find another impact play? No, we can't. Firebolts take control of the quaffle.
It's Westy moving downside the field. Pass down to Neo. Unfortunately, stopped in their tracks. A vicious bludger shot keeps that offense on the halt. Firebolts trying to move through nonetheless. They've got the opportunity. Will it go in? No, not quite. Keeper's just too solid.
That's that keeper play we talked about already becoming impactful in this game. Quaffle back over to the Bashful Bowtruckles now, moving up the pitch. We'll see if they're able to do anything with it. Already over a minute in, only one score, and we're seeing now just how impactful those snitch scores can be. Quaffle near in the net, but it's going to be in. Bashful Bowtruckles tie it up.
A beautiful answer there by Osgos to just quickly even it, returning to their side of the pitch with gusto. You can see the Firebolts not quite happy with how that's all ended up. It's going to be some quick pass play to try to move down the field.
Moving fast, even trying to put another one in here. Bashful Bowtruckles with the quaffle. Are they going to be able to score? No, they are not. The Firebolts take control instead. Another good save from the keeper, and now they're going to be returning up the pitch. Just a few seconds until the snitch breaks out, though. So we're going to have some big plays in a minute here. Keep an eye on those beaters if they're able to stop these Seekers.
The keeper's already got their hands full, and now it's going to be the Seeker's chance in just a second here as the snitch makes its appearance. Both Seekers now off to the races in a deadly head-to-head, drifting their way through, seeing if they can reach out to try and grab it. But a bludger coming there for our friend on the side of the broomstick of the Portkey partners could be a bit of an issue. Still, though, the quaffle in play, they're not even worried about that at the moment. It's Portkey with the lead at the moment, not quite enough on their side. And they're just zooming, veering, reaching out with all they have, but it's just going to keep eluding their fingertips as a huge bludger shot gets taken out there thanks to Westy.
There you go. They're the plays we were looking for, rather. So it's going to be all Firebolts all the way here if they can stay on this snitch. Already that meter filling up. They are getting closer and closer to grabbing it. It should be soon here. The Firebolts have scored another goal, so they can go up by 40 points here, halfway to that century mark, if they can grab the snitch. So close now.
Just extending by the tips of their fingers. It's slowly fluttering out of reach, but you can tell that they want it so badly. One more grasp. They just got to keep on it at this point. Only a bludger or dementor could stop them, but bludgers are certainly raining down as they have to veer. They've lost a bit of that angle, but they do grab it. Firebolts use their significant broom power and metal and gusto to grab that snitch. Puts them up 50-10.
Good job there from Westy grabbing that snitch, and so impressive after playing the game, knowing how difficult it can be, just how quickly those Seekers found the snitch. It wasn't in the field for 2 seconds before they were off to the races. Of course, the beater getting the best there. Neoballer doing a really nice job of taking down the Seeker Oscos very early on into that race. And now this is a big one to come back from. If you're Firebolts, maybe this is the opportunity to play a little more passive, play safe. Aggression, always a key component in this game, and they're going to keep on it. They're not going to fall back. They're just going to go up even more, 60-10, favoring the Firebolts. And for the Bashful Bowtruckles, got to have a big response soon. You need the snitch and then some.
Another beautiful goal by Westy. They cannot stop contributing. Chaser, Seeker, it does not matter. Just give him every role on the team. They're just doing a fantastic work with keeping this aggression coming. Bashful Bowtruckles need to maybe be a bit less bashful. Take the aggressive end. Here it comes, but here comes the bludger as well. They put another one. Firebolts up 70-10.
Good goal there by Neoballer, falling off the beater for just a second, going to the chaser. Of course, now taking the advantage, 70-10. That's a lot of points to come back from. It's never over until it's over, but for the Bowtruckles, it might be almost over. You got to get it turned around now. Hope this team has it left in the tank to kind of push us to a more competitive game.
Puts us within Snitch's range. Firebolts only need to wrap their fingers around that golden sphere to have that victory. Quaffle going to be sent off here by the Firebolts once again. Just keep that pressure coming. Zooming down the field, it's Westy, their offensive hope, their MVP. They're looking for the shot.
Westy, though, going to switch off because here comes the snitch. The Firebolts only need one more catch in order to end this game. You got to think now they're going to be focused on this. Bludger already incoming there on the left-hand side. That's going to be Neo yet again working to make sure the Firebolts are the only one after the golden snitch.
In the meantime, they already also get another Quaffle shot in, just further closing this gap between 80 and 100 they need to get the victory. Closing the gap as well between Westy and this snitch, trying to find their way through all the chaos and heckling. It seems that so far, though, it's a bit too much drift. They got to dodge a bludger as well. Porky Pioneers are falling behind.
And both the Seekers now are so low, but it's actually going to be Westy to be taken out first, it looks like. And now the Bowtruckles are the only one on the snitch, but so low health. Bludger coming in. It's going to be off the mark, but some player needs to find the kick here faster. The Bowtruckles are about to get a massive point difference, but Oscos falls. What a shot by the beater.
And the Firebolts followed up with what a goal. 90-10 now. The snitch has been forgotten. All we need is a Quaffle. Each ball is as valuable as the other. And with that, Bashful Bowtruckles spread woefully thin. They need to find some huge answer with the 40 seconds left remaining.
We'll see if they can do it. All odds stacked against them. They're in control of the Quaffle, and they're going to get a goal in the meantime. But looking at the timer, 30 seconds, and both Seekers are closing in on the snitch here. But it looks like it's the Bowtruckles in front.
At the very least, I can provide you a decent gap closer, but with 20 seconds left remaining, they do grab that snitch. Makes it 50-90. A beautiful play by Oscos to keep the spirit alive.
Great play, but unfortunately it's going to be a little too late. Too little, too late. That's the right one. 10 seconds, 40 points, one more shot needed from the Firebolts to end this game, and it should end in short order. Unfortunately, the Bashful Bowtruckles run through the tournament. Ends here.
You know what, Oscos made the Victor Crumb play. They got the snitch, but they didn't get the victory. Firebolts take it in spades. A beautiful accolade to their side, but to be fair, they, at very least, Bashful Bowtruckles can feel proud knowing at the end of the day, their friends win either way.
Yeah, I think especially for the scoreline, it was a deceptively competitive set there, especially at the end. I love seeing the beaters getting both of the Seekers down. Obviously, we talked about that in the pregame lobby, how important that was going to be for the points late game. And you saw a 90-10 swing all the way up to 90-50 in a span of 10 seconds. That's what can happen. You got to stay competitive all the way throughout. And the Firebolts, unable to close. I think also Bowtruckles did a really nice job of that crunch time defense. I don't think they allowed a point in those final 1.5, 2 minutes maybe.
Yeah, and if they can just replicate that success, their path forward spells absolutely beautifully. But that's going to be it we have for us so far. Firebolts, congratulations. You move forward. Bowtruckles, maybe a bit less bashful, a bit more bluster next time around. But we'll be right back with more KC Comp action in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. We just had a good game between Basketball Bow Truckles and the Firebolts, but now we are up here with Harry Potter versus NDA. You know, two great teams going up. A lot of people on both sides. Fisher, I believe, is correct. This is Fisher and I's first time casting together. Fisher's a professional caster. I am just here off the street. I am scuffed. But yes, after your first game, Fisher, how are you feeling? How's the competition looking for you? A lot of excitement going on.
It looks really intimidating, really intimidating. I didn't even know people could play the game this well, and they're just here doing incredible. It's a lot of fun to watch, like all the strategy back and forth, and it moves so quickly too. It's not like a lot of other strategy-dependent games, even like sports games, move so fast sometimes. I think this has a top though, for sure.
Oh, yes. And some may consider that last game maybe a warm-up for you in the eyes, because we are about to go into a very aggressive, very fast-paced game. Two incredible teams. Well, let's go ahead and talk about them very quickly before the matches start up. You've heard us all talk about the keeper role and how impactful it is. Well, there is none other better to watch than on one side we have Banthanor, very impactful as a chaser, as a keeper, will be controlling the tempo of the field. You know, it's you're going to see a whole lot of gameplay, a lot of tech there. We have two incredible beaters going up within J-Baller and Cypress. They will be in a very aggressive match with each other, trying to control the field. Fisher, as you saw from that last game, you saw how snitches were very important, but you could also see where chases can go. Now, how do you think now mixing in two of the best beaters that this game will offer? How much do you think will change in focus between either chasers or snitches?
I think there's probably going to be a lot of pressure put onto the snitches by the beaters, obviously. Like, that's going to be the biggest point scoring. There's always going to be attention paid there, kind of deemed as the most important, at least in my eyes. Obviously, don't know how these players have been prioritizing, how they've been screaming, you know, any of their strategies, things like that. But we could already see last game how impactful it was. I think the Secrets got knocked out like 3 of the 4 times who were off chasing the snitch. So obviously, it's going to be a concern. And like you said, now with these two best beaters in the game, I'm definitely expecting some fireworks, definitely expecting some new tech, some like new strategies on just how they're going to impact the entire map. So it's going to be something to keep an eye out for sure.
For sure, obviously. And now moving on into the Yukio Takada, very late into the play test, but made a name for himself very quickly, especially now. And Ducky, some have considered him one of the better seekers. Been in very many of the play tests. Very exciting to see how those when the snitch comes out. But the ball is coming out. And the dive going to J Mauler, quickly staying on chaser before moving over to beater. We probably will. Flipping up, getting that early score for 10-0.
Wow, and talk about a hot start. We know the keepers are going to be important. An unfortunate miscue there from the keeper. I think it was Skinny on the side of the NDA. Going to be looking to get back into the action soon, though. Speaking of action, Quaffle flying around this, going to be kept in by NDA, moving up the pitch very quickly. The question is, can they score it? Keeper out of the net very far, and the Quaffle just misses. An unfortunate one. Now Harry Potter going to regain possession.
And the NDA regains possession, and I am Ducky getting a score on Banthanor. Everyone put a quick quack in the chat for Ducky. Banthanor kicking out, very good with the kicks out. Going to J Mauler, passing it up to Yukio. He is spinning around, trying his best to keep it the deuce. Sending it up to Banthanor. Banthanor fluttering it in for a quick score on over your Skitty P.
Yeah, and you talked pregame about just how good Banthanor is, not only as a keeper, but as a chaser as well. Seeing it here first. Will they be able to continue that pace, though? Quaffle now kept in and taken away. Yukio scores that one, and one of the quickest turnaround goals I think we're going to see this entire tournament. Harry Potter now up 30
no,
to 10.
Trust this team. This Harry Potter team is very known to be aggressive in the half field, turning the ball around. Yukio even blocking off a pass option. Very big. Very aware of what's going on. Cypress with the ball, though, passing it forward. Getting taken by Banthanor. Kicking it out. Yukio being able to grab the Quaffle first. He is spinning around. He is waiting for his team to get in position, holding as much as a boost as he can. The snitch is out, though. We can see J Baller dribbling a bludger from Cypress, not allowing Cypress to hold that bludger, now throwing it. Yukio now switching over to Seeker. Getting bumped early, though.
There's going to be a big advantage here. As a Snitch starting to race off, it's actually NDA that sees it much, much quicker. Bludgers incoming onto I Am Ducky, but nothing landing so far. Going to have to make something happen if you're Harry Potter here. If they catch a Snitch, the score going to get evened right back up at 40 apiece. Is where we're really expecting those beaters to come in handy. Both Seekers losing a little bit of HP so far, but still alive. Question is, for how long? Some really nice maneuvering there by Ducky to keep it in range, bumping each other, and it's getting close.
Absolutely. And seeing both the beaters right now, they are both having a dance right now, showcasing, but it looks like Ducky right now very far ahead. Yukio running that oak shaft broom, of much slower broom, but holds the health. Not enough speed for Ducky, though.
Ducky with a really good capture, one shot away from falling off the broom down to the bottom of the pitch. Really well timed by NDA. We're now only down by 10, and controlling the Quaffle can even it up right here unless we see a big play from Banthanor. The keeper is, and they take it away. So now it's going to be Harry Potter on the attack.
Indeed. Banthanor now getting the ball, dodging, weaving, no boost, still finds a way to dodge and weave his way to getting one sneaking past Skinny P.
Yeah, doing a nice job there, Banthanor, making it fell on both ends.
They're all setting up, looking for that half-court steal. Yukio missing the first tackle. Skinny P getting his way around. J Mauler trying to throw a bludger, does not hit.
That was a really nice deflection. Ducky putting that one in. NDA now only down by 10, trying to move up. Quaffle spawning back in. And we saw Harry Potter turn it around very quickly earlier with a nice score of their own. NDA are trying to do the same. The Snitch about 1 minute out from spawning. Both these teams starting to close in on that 70-point threshold where capturing the Snitch could win them the game. Harry Potter are closer, but right now it's NDA with control of the Quaffle. And with a big pass, it's going to go by the wayside. And now Harry Potter taking it back up the pitch.
Indeed. Now, yep, it is going back and forth as we expected. A lot of half-court battles going on. J Mauler sending the bludger off. They set up for a one-timer, but Banthanor saw it and caught it. One-timers are an incredibly difficult shot to block. Sends the Quaffle flying, but Banthanor, being one of those that use the one-timer so much, so keen to it, but just got the ball stolen from him by Ducky, but got bludgered. Bludgers are hitting all over. Banthanor doing his best, rolling around the goal. Gets the kickoff. The Snitch is coming in.
Oh, and it's a late switch here. Ducky didn't switch to the Seeker in time. Now it's going to be going after the Snitch, so is going to start building up that bar. It's still 50-60. Despite all those fireworks, there has not been a goal allowed in the last minute and some change. So there's going to be a lot of pressure.
That might change right here.
It does.
Banthanor, after getting stopped by your boy Skinny P on a goal, steals it quickly and sends it back. Right now we have J Mauler at low health, making it very difficult for him to stay in that beater battle with Cypress. Cypress tingling with him. The Snitch battle is staying very close. However, right now, Ducky just gaining a lot of speed. Again, Yukio running that oak shaft, which does not give him a lot of speed, but gives him a lot of power if he can get those bumps in. Now getting the bumps, it's the 30-point difference right now. So even if Ducky gets it, it will be tied. However, Ducky is dead. Yukio should get this Snitch, and that ends the game for Harry Potter.
And gotta love to see that. Our first game actually ended by the Snitch. It feels like we're just back in the books. And yeah, wow, Banthanor with an incredible showing this game. Got so many goals, kept so many out. Like you said, the one-timers in particular. Queued up a lot from Ducky, but just not able to land home. And J Mauler with a very, very clutch beater there in the end to knock the Seeker off. No time left remaining. Makes it easy to take it. Just like that, Harry Potter gonna win this game. I think a lot of people came in expecting this team to really show up and show out, and they got to be happy after this game won.
Oh, yes. But, you know, huge credit to the other team. Cypress really keeping J Mauler on the ropes many of that time. J Mauler was not able to just go for the attacks as much as we usually like to see. Ducky getting that first Snitch on Yukio, a real testament to how much they've put in. Cypress getting some stops, but at the end of the day, there is just so much offensive and defensive power on Harry Potter. It's going to take a lot to stop them. Ducky getting some scores too. So, you know, real shout out to Ducky getting scores, getting on the Snitches. Just unfortunately not enough. If we was able to get that final snitch, we could have had that 80-80. But Yukio coming in there at the very end, J Mauler with that kill. Oakshaft proving a viable broom, even though many thought it was not.
Yeah, gotta love like the little tech plays. It's always interesting when you can see just how these players are prioritizing. 'Cause stuff like that isn't always what you think of when you're talking about these competitions. Not always what you're expecting. Those tiny, tiny differences, though, can make the difference. And right now, the difference is Harry Potter moving on.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much, everyone that enjoyed their casting. I'm trying to catch up to our friends Deelo and Fisher here, but I am Flyrish. That is Fisher to my left on the stream. If I'm saying that wrong, please. I believe it's Fisher, correct? Or
yeah. You're good. You're good.
Okay, that is Fisher there. You will see you again on a future game. So long, everyone. Enjoy your break. Get some water, stretch. Some good ones coming up.
Got a lot of experience from both teams. We got the Hazy Dementors against October Dreams. Got the captain here. It's B Smokey. You have a lot of people, a lot of experience. It's your boy Ross. Zach of all trades, very familiar. A lot of people that have had a lot of experience in the playtest. So I'm very excited to see what they do. And I mean, when you see a lot of people from the playtest, all this experience coming in, and then to the final version of this game.
As far as just expectations here, do you have favor to go either way?
I don't actually, to be honest. I mean, it seems very evenly matched. Jay Guardian is a name I see very highly on a lot of players' lists who have played the game for a very long time. High-skilled players, and it has begun. We see here, it's your boy Ross has the ball. Very nice pass, Smokey. They're going to try to score here. Nice shuffle pass. Trying to set up a... Oh, very nice. He was going to pass to shoot in there, but instead took the initiative himself. Very nice start to the game. What do you think is going to happen here as they try to start the counterattack?
They just got to keep trying to get that quaffle moving. Hopefully with some fast, aggressive passing play. We're seeing it here so far. Jagard moving low and quick, trying to sweep away through, but now it's the keeper underneath that pressure. Now trying to play it close to their chest. It's going to be unfortunately not going their way. Nonetheless, a second goal going down here the way of Hazy.
Those passes were very clean. It's hard to catch up. When you make accurate passes like that, you just don't have the boost to catch up. You got to take advantage of that and move quickly before the beaters have time to react. Oh, very nice steal there.
And now it's their chance to move it down through. Going aggressive here at the moment. It's going to be their answer back. Putting themselves on the board. October Dream have a dream to get back in this. Courtesy of Jagard.
Yes, yes. Definitely is a team that if you don't respond right away, it could get out of hand very quickly.
It seems to be
very nice shuffle pass right there.
Quick and
people start
fast
getting hit.
They're getting aggressive. They're looking to try to swipe each other off the booms. They're looking to try to mop the blood off the battlefield in a second. Nice pass there upfield to Jagard. Moving through from the left side of the pitch. Evades, but unfortunately not too well enough. Now it's back to the enemy possession.
Oh, we got a knocked out opponent here. Smokey getting knocked out. It's going to be a 15-second delay as he tries to recover. It's going to have to switch characters here. And the snitch has arrived. Very, very close. It's going to be very impactful as it's not going to be a very determining factor here. There's going to be enough room for a second snitch. Here it begins.
The Fabled Chasers going to be taken down now into the Seeker's box instead. It's Jay trying to catch up, looking, extending their arm with the greatest hopes to try to get it. They've got the look, but a blunder's incoming. They've got to dodge that one quick. They do manage to evade, and all eyes are on both of these Seekers as they look to try to find their way through. Unfortunately, Jagard loses track.
That's very devastating. As you can see in the snitch meter, it is going to be very hard to come from that. You're going to have to need an elim yourself to make up for that time, as getting eliminated takes so much time away from your Seeker to come back in the snitch game.
drifting around these corners. The Quaffle play has been tucked into a complete standstill at the moment. All eyes on the small golden ball, but no arms will wrap near it. No hands can curl around it. They're just trying with all they can. J-Guard takes a bit of a moment, assesses the field of battle, but it's Hazy who are off to the races. You might need a Dementor to stop them in their tracks to actually have hopes to catch up.
Not even Dumbledore can come back from this one as the Snitch is about to be caught. The only thing you can hope for is an elimination here. As he's trying to catch up.
Forward. The blunder,
Very
though,
nice
causes
avoid.
severe. That could have been an absolute stave of this entire game, and it's going to go the way instead of J-Guard. You needed a miracle. We've found one, 40-20 in favor here of October Dream.
That was a very devastating blow, but it's still anybody's game as one Quaffle score could really close up the gap for the next Snitch. Oh, he misses that kick right there. That could have been very devastating, but they have a rebound to score again. Oh, very nice catch right there. That's very hard to guard that as that kick happened so quickly. Props to that keeper guard right there, stopping the Quaffle from scoring.
Tatsu setting up an iron wall. You might need it again in just a second, though. The aggression coming back here from the Hazy Dementors. Keeper stands ready, but now they're going aggressive instead, trying to take that Quaffle away with the quickness. Their chance to go aggressive here. Quaffle on red side of the pitch here. Fortunately, not going to go their way. Now it's back on October Dream. A nice pass back as they just try to get this synergy going. Burn some clock. And maybe try to burn the enemy team even further. It's another goal put up here by Sludgy.
That was a very good goal right there. I mean, you have to get the Snitch at this point to really make a comeback. If the other team gets a Snitch, if Hazy Dementors does not get the Snitch here, I could honestly say it could be the end of the game. Let's see how they recover from this, as it's just mental right now. You just have to keep playing like nothing happened to stay in the game.
And that's a good way to start. Get another score up on the marks, courtesy of Not Ross. But now, we're not even focused on the Quaffles. It's the Snitch. This could be their key back in. The Hazy Dementors got to make sure their vision is clear. But it's Jay who's the first one to the scene. Having to dodge some blunders, though, could cost them some momentum.
Smokey's on the catch right now as he's going to try to make sure he doesn't get hit. They really did a lot of good teamwork. October taking out the Snitch, the Seeker very out very quickly. Look at all these dodges that Smokey is doing right now, being very clutch to try to make up for the first Snitch. And he has a big lead right now. If he doesn't get knocked out, it could be the Snitch catch right here.
We've said that before, though, and J-Guard's caught up courtesy of some good dodging, and now they've got eyes on it. Unfortunately, it's still not going to be good enough. It seems that Snitch, they've got to extend their fingertips for it, and they get it! Smokey finds their way through the smog, comes up with the Snitch, gives their team the lead.
Hazy Dementor is up by 10. I mean, that is devastating if you're October. I mean, you have to get a huge defense right here. You could actually stall the clock, but knowing how competitive these players are, you want to get another 10 in there to secure the victory. But October does have a chance right here to score and to tie it up. Oh, very nice steal here. 44 seconds. Not much time left.
The more clock burned, the more desperate the affair will come. Now they're on defense. This could be the dagger. It's not going to be allowed. Brilliant movement here from Tatsu. They eat some damage for it, but they're still staying up on their broom. Not for long. They've been knocked to the ground.
There's not much time left. And as you can see here, something has to give. Is he going to stop that? Oh, I think that's it right there. That's definitely the game. Very unfortunate when you can't stop something like that, but that was a very good play as Smokey's team will take it.
Not Ross with the final dagger to the heart. Who says Muggle weapons aren't effective? No wands necessary. Beautiful work by the Hazy Dementors. They kept in it, and they got that Snitch in their hands. They have the game as well in theirs.
Man, what a close game right there. Everything again. Deciding on the Snitch, putting the momentum, and you have to score in the last 10 seconds to make up the time. Because you have to score, and you know you're not going to get another opportunity as time is winding down. So that's very brutal if you're on the other side of that.
Yeah, at that moment as the clock just winds down to its final 10 seconds, you've got to imagine the desperation being felt there on our friends on October Dream. Dreaming sometimes just is not enough, Blue. They had that lead, courtesy that first snitch grab there by Jay. It looked hopeless, and unfortunately, at the end of the day, it was.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, everybody had an opportunity to make a play. So it's one of those close games when you play at a high level, everything matters, even 10 points. As you saw right there, they couldn't tie it up, and then the other team did. It's just over. So hard to come back from that.
Brilliant play to both sides. Hey, October Dream, even though you didn't quite make it further, you still showed your mettle there on the pitch. That's A-okay with us. That being said, congratulations to our friend the Hazy Dementors. You're moving on, and so are we. We got more QC competition coming at you in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. More Quidditch fun in just a bit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Be sure that you have gotten your popcorn because we have a good one coming up for you. It looks like we may have a little bit of a delay. We were supposed to be in the discords with the others, seeing multiple pops, but we don't have that right now. The dive off going in favor of right now. We're showing Basketball Truckles, but I believe that is the other team. Phoenix right now closing in on Johnny, but Pickles getting the stop on keeper as we expected. We are currently getting switched around into different discords. I am with Banthanor, them. Hello, Banthanor. I am definitely Discord. Yes. TH Jinx getting a early score though. All right, now I'm able to actually.
I can see as well. Yep.
See.
The Broomstick Bandits up by 1. Oh, what a beautiful shot! Did you see that? How hard is that to pull off, Flyrish, in your experience?
I was switching over onto Jinx's side, so I will have to watch the replay. However, Jinx getting an elimination on Liv. Liv is a very aggressive beater. Surprised to see that. The ball going in the hands of Johnny, though, needing to get a score in here, but not getting it past Pickles. Again, Pickles is really shining out, especially for the keeper side. In a game that's so tough for keepers now, Blue, how excited are you to see someone like Pickles come on so quickly without that keeper knowledge and just pull off what he is pulling off? Also, Phoenix with a quick score.
That's what makes new talent very exciting to watch. As you saw there, it's very, very tempting to go for the kick, but he was patient. He mirrored the chaser, and it paid off. He was able to stop that goal. It's very interesting. I hear a lot of keepers nowadays saying that it's good to be aggressive and then passive, so you don't know what you're making the chaser think you're going to be passive, and then it messes everything up. So he was passive there. He's going to keep the same play style or change it up. We'll see.
Well, the snitch is out, and they are down by 40 snitches before witches. So not only does this snitch become very important, Passawan is really going to have to do his best to stop Pickles on the offense. Right now, Johnny getting a little beat up. Low health, low on the snitch bar. This is very important that Liv gets up, but Johnny is now out. It is up to Liv to cause some chaos on Phoenix.
Yes, right here. All they knew was going to be play passive, so they waited. They were patient this time. They were less aggressive, and they were able to make a last-minute decision that was even harder to block. So they were able to get 10 points off Broomstick Bandits.
Indeed. Passawan getting a score in now doing it, but it is now a 70-10 lead for Broomstick Bandits, coming in with almost 4 minutes left. However, we have seen comebacks greater than this, especially when you have this much young talent. It is up to Snitches Before Witches to really lock in. Johnny with the quaffle, sending it over. Pickles with the stop, though.
Very impressed with how many stops Pickles is getting. It's very hard as of right now to really get consistent stops on keeper. His play style paying off. It's one of those things where you play at a high level, you're kind of familiar with some of the teams you face. So when you face another team that's just out of nowhere this good, It's very hard
Indeed.
to stop that.
A lot of pass plays just now. Passawan getting a very clutch stop on that first one, but Phoenix this time not passing it, deciding to just take it in and finish it himself, putting the score up to 80-10. I must admit, I'm very surprised so far as the lead keep bleeding into the favor of Broomstick Bandits. But there is still time here. They can get some quick scores if they control the midfield. And this snitch coming out in a minute. Passawan go ahead and starting it off. All they need is 2 more quick goals if they can hold it here at the midfield and really focus on that snitch. Pickles kick it, get out.
They scored twice on Pickles. Have they figured it out? Is it too late? I mean, the score, they definitely need to stop this.
DHC Jinx getting the pass upfield. Unfortunately, Stitches before, which is just not paying attention to THG Jinx upfield, getting a open shot on it. It is now down to 10, even before the snitch is out. At this point, it might just be all eyes on Chasers. Get that final score. Pickles stopping once again. What an incredibly impressive performance by Pickles.
Yeah, the consistency speaks for itself. As if you can't score in the Chaser game, it can get very frustrating, and that's going to happen as this game is going to end.
And that is indeed what happened.
Wins.
It looked like Passawan was dead there for the end, giving Phoenix the free open shot. What an incredibly one-sided affair that I don't think anyone saw happening in this matter. We knew that Pickles, we knew that Phoenix, we knew that Jinx obviously had some scoring prowess, but Johnny, Liv, and Passawan has been terrorizing and dominating new players and playtesters. Obviously, this should put a lot of respect on the name of Broomstick Bandits. Blue, from you watching that game, what impressed you the most, outside of just, other factors than Pickles just stopping everything that came his way?
I mean, I'm sure there was communication going on, because once you get stopped by a keeper, you got to find a way around that. And I think they just focused too much on that. And you could see they kept getting scored on, and then they lost too many points. But I think they figured it out at the end, kind of, but it was way too late. And Broomstick Bandits always making a way to consistently score 10 points, knocking someone out, always being in your face. It's hard to breathe when you're playing against them. I was very surprised. It was a solid win.
They stayed very impressive, seemed to have great field awareness of where everyone was on the field, not allowing them to have any open shots. The ball could never just get passed up for anyone to have an open shot. It seemed there was a little bit of coordination. Sure, I'll just say this quickly and sign off. A little bit of coordination, some weird passes there towards the end going against Pickles. Pickles stopping it all, though. So with that said, congratulations to Broomstick Bandits. And man, what an exciting tournament we've had so far. We'll be signing out. We'll come back to you shortly again. Get some water, stretch your legs. Great games coming up.
Sonorous! Hello, everyone! Witches and wizards all, welcome back to QC Comp. This time it's Hazy Dementors up against Harry Potter. I'm Deelo, once again joined in the booth by my muggle companion, KingFisher. Fisher, how we feeling?
Feeling good, been out of the booth for a minute, but ready to get back in and excited to be casting this team. Last time Harry Potter really, I think, kind of showed us why they are the team to beat, as everyone keeps calling them in this tournament. So definitely excited to see them go up against Hazy Dementors, who in their own right, very, very strong team, had a really nice round one.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, Hazy Dementors have always had pretty good matchup against Harry Potter. Didn't really go quite well in the movies. Let's see if it's a canon event, or if in this timeline, maybe things will go differently. That being said, when you have the level of pedigree, you've got to feel the pressure already starting to mount here. Hopefully, no Confundus charms on the PCs this time to make that tension build up for too long.
Yeah, gonna have to be high performance from both these teams. Harry Potter, Hazy Dementors about to get started. Everybody rocking the Hagrid hat on the side of Hazy Dementors. Gotta love that cosmetic choice. Hopefully, we'll see if that powers them to a victory. And of course, there are always players to look out for. And you gotta think from round number one, Banthanar gonna be one of those players. Was the impact guy for Harry Potter, but it's not Banthanar. It's gonna be Yukio to score the first goal.
Already a great start here for Harry Potter. And like you said, look to these keepers, both Zach as well as Banthador are going to be incredibly pivotal coming into this for their roles, and Chaser as well. They're still potent. Now we're off to the races here, seeing if we can try to counter that aggression. Calling for the pass here on the side. It's going to be moving up the side of the pitch there. Now it's stolen away. Unfortunately, Harry Potter, Quaffle loose. They've managed to try to snag it away, and now it's up to them to try to dodge these bludgers. Hagrid taking quite a spin, but which Hagrid is it going to be? Who can block this? Zach keeps it in play. No, not quite enough. Yukio with another sweet 20 points.
It's going to be more Chaser standouts. This time, Yukio, the team seeker, really getting active early on. And of course, doesn't have to worry about switching just yet. The Snitch not on the course for another minute. Doesn't have to play between keeper or beater, can just do their own thing. Quaffle now in control, though, of the other side. Hazy Dementor is going to try to make something happen before it's stolen away yet again. This time it's going to be Banthador bringing it up, but a nice bludger from the beater there, going to stop them in their tracks.
It's now Ross moving up the pitch here. They've got that beat on lock, and they've also been the offensive key here of the Hazy Dementors so far. It's not going to be enough, though. Send 3 bludgers their way. Yukio will put up 3 goals in response, 30-0.
Yukio on an absolute tear for the start of this game. Luckily for Hazy Dementors, though, there's a little bit of a break coming up soon. In 15 minutes, of course, this Snitch is out, which means Yukio is not going to be a chaser anymore. You can give them that 30 points to get back in, and they already got 10, so they only need 20 now, not Ross. With a nice goal there. Hazy Dementors starting to pull even. Snitch appearing, Seekers ready. We'll see which team is able to capture it first.
Smokey lost that first one in their prior engagement, but now they might need to try to start things off with a bigger bang because they're already at a deficit. Getting a bit of a bump there. This is already getting bloody and violent. The tension is ripe. They're drifting to try to get within arm's reach. Just not quite granted it just yet. Smokey is still behind.
And it looks like it might have been Harry Potter to get an eye on the Snitch first, but these bars are very close. This is where we see the beaters really come into play. Sometimes one team can get an advantage right off the bat, and you really see them race for it. But this time, both Seekers in about the same boat as now Yukio pulls ahead just by the tiniest of margins.
And at this point, it doesn't even matter what the Snitch is going for in the eyes of Leadbag Puffin. They make this a 30-point disparity, but Smokey's got eyes only for the golden orb. They just can't quite get within arm's reach. These bumps are just too deadly. Center field here, still in heavy pursuit, but no one can quite get the upper hand. Big elim there as the Seeker goes down.
Wow, and that might just determine who gets a Snitch. Smokey was so close, but it's going to be Yukio pulling ahead. What a shot by the beater there. Jay Mahler on the side of Harry Potter, saving the day. Smokey was so close to Yukio. Luckily, though, getting some assistance from the teammate puts Harry Potter up 70-10, but gotta remember, now 80-10 as Banthador gets another goal. This game could easily be 40-50 right now. We're in for a great best of 3.
This is such an emphatic start, and like you said, Fisher, play your own game. Harry Potter have no issue with it. Their game is strictly offensive brutalization, and that's coming from the beater to the chaser to the seeker to the keeper. They're keeping this game on lock. A nice elimination there, going to take down Jay Mahler for a little bit of respite, but it's not quite enough. The time continues to wind down, and the offense continues to mount here for Harry Potter.
Hazy Dementors, though, finally going to regain control of the Quaffle. That's been a huge storyline here in game number 1. The Quaffle control has been absolutely unreal by Harry Potter, and they've got it once again. It's Banthador taking it up the field. It's going to go low at the goalpost, though, and now Yukio trying to gain control, trying to look for a pass and a one-timer, but it is going to soar far away from the rest of the team. Now Hazy Dementors might have a chance to even this one up.
It's Ross beating it down the pitch, trying to get their way through. A good evasion and a good goal. Ross puts it up for 20. It's still quite the disparity, but at the very least, not quite as hopeless.
Yeah, you know, we've cast a lot of games across many different sports, but one thing is always consistent among esports. Even if you're at a loss, try to go in with your heads held high with a good moment. The game's still far from over with 2 minutes left. Snitch breaking out, but the more Hazy Dementors can fight here with another goal, the better position they'll be in for game number 2. Snitch shakes down to 5, and just like this, Hazy Dementors can get back into this game, but now it's going to be all on the backs of Smokey.
Not Ross will not be denied. Another beautiful goal as now they're trying to get the beat off to make sure that they can still get a bit of offensive momentum. The Snitch is back to the pitch though, and that means it's Yukio's time to shine. Everyone's eyes are just going to be on the Quaffle for now, but at the very least, Smokey's got a good hand for it. Moving it down to Ross as they beat down the field. In the meantime, Seekers are all looking to try to grab it. Smokey in a bit of a trouble there already. Their stamina's wearing thin. Their slack on the broom is going to let them go. They can't get eliminated here, or it might all be over.
Yeah, Smokey low on health and behind a little bit on the Snitch. Another bludger incoming, but able to dodge it this time. And now stays alive in the race. Both Seekers, just like last time, is extremely even. The Snitch might not even be caught, though. Banthanar scores again, so only 10 points remaining for Harry Potter if they can get it. Smokey's ahead in the Snitch race. The question is, can his team hold on long enough for him to catch the elusive Snitch?
1 minute left, but one goal is all Harry Potter needs to keep this momentum going. Quaffle in neither team's possession here. They're just looking to try to grab it. Now Harry Potter with that offensive edge. You need to try to get a good bludger off. The Seeker still has not quite found that Snitch either way, but only 10-point differential quite makes it. And it's going to be Banthanar who puts in the dagger. 100-30, a decisive game for Harry Potter.
A good game for Harry Potter, but, you know, I said it earlier in the day, I'll say it again, don't let that stat line fool you. An incredibly competitive game from Hazy Dementors. And on the Snitch as well, it was interesting. It was only taken once, and it was by Harry Potter, but I think Hazy Dementors played the Snitch better both times. I think Smokey did a phenomenal job getting on it quickly and making up ground. Like, when they got behind early on too, Yukio was able to make up ground very, very efficiently. But at the end of the day, it's the beaters. Jay Mahler did an incredible job keeping Smokey off that Snitch long enough for Harry Potter to either steal it away or score the rest in points. Quaffle came out clutch there in game number 1.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it doesn't all come down to the golden ball, even if it's their golden opportunity to make a comeback. If you're not paying enough attention to it, if you get tunnel vision there, sucked into the Snitch's allure, you might find yourself losing in the meantime thanks to some well-placed Quaffle shots. And it was Yukio, like you said, in both roles, so potent, so oppressive, it's going to be very difficult to try to play your own game, as we suggested before, if they keep up this breakneck pace for Harry Potter. It always feels good if you can get that, especially up against a team that's used to winning. You've got to imagine Harry Potter, despite being the valiant side of Gryffindor, they are the big bad. They are the ones walking onto the pitch with swagger and swarth. And hopefully we can try to put them in their place. Unfortunately, Ross not going to do so quite just yet. Has the bludger now, sending it forth, but going to be well evaded. And a great pass. At the very least, though, it's been diverted for now.
Some nice passes from the side of Harry Potter. One goes a bit way right, but it's going to be getting it back. Banthanar with the early goal. Not what you want to see if you're the Hazy Dementors just starting out. Luckily, though, early enough in, you can still come back from this one. Still plenty of time until the Snitch breaks out. And if you can keep yourself even in this game, you're in a really good position for when the Golden Snitch does start to fly. Quaffle barely off the mark there, so it's going to be Harry Potter taking it back up the pitch. Hazy Dementors close to scoring their first one of the game.
Might just be a difference in broom model, but Ross couldn't catch up, and Banthanar with a second goal in just as much quickness. Already 20-0. If this is the change of pace we wanted, it's certainly not going the Dementors' way.
Banthanar got a little upset at Yukio stealing all the credit. Game number 1 has to get in on their own right here, but now it's going to be Hazy Dementors taking it back up with some nice jukes. Unfortunately, losing the Quaffle at the last minute, Yukio takes it away. So a good scoring chance gone the wayside now for Hazy Dementors before they're able to answer it back. We'll see if they can score the first goal of their half. Doesn't look like it.
Ross preparing that kick to try to send the Quaffle to its final destination. It's just not going to get to you in the first place. They do manage to pick it up at the very least, but the question is, do you go for the hero play? Seems they might be a heavy drift. They managed to get the beat on one, looking for the final shot, and it's good! Not Ross is not afraid. 10-20.
Ross doing a great job scoring early on, was the same in game number 1. Really kind of the premier chaser for this squad right about now. Hoping to continue that, but the Snitch is up in 10 seconds, and Hazy Dementors yet again have done a nice job keeping the score even enough. 20-10 going into the first Snitch. Might be a little bit bigger if they can score here. They're trying teeing up a one-timer, but the pass can be off target. 20-10, the score will stay, put right back in though. Yukio scores a goal over to Chaser. Now here comes Harry Potter.
Banthanar, you've had your time to shine. Now it's Yukio back on top. Snitch is now up for the mark here. Question is, can they make sure to grab it? It's all up to Smokey, who's taking a bit of stamina resistance. They need to make sure they keep in it. Ross sending bludgers their way, stuns Mahler. A good work to just try to keep that pressure going as this hunt for the snitch continues to close. Banthenar, though, expands the lead even further. Another 10 points.
What we've expected to see here from this Harry Potter squad, just continuing to grow this margin, but it's a little more of the same on the other side. Both these Seekers very, very even in this chase for the snitch, and they're both full on health as well, but now as we say that, losing a lot, it's Smokey in trouble going after that snitch, and if Mahler can pull it off here, it would be another crazy play onto the Seeker to shut them down in order to take it.
Just keeping it moving forward. The snitch is still within grasp, but Smokey just keeps getting beat out bit by bit. These bumps, those bludger evasions. In the meantime, it's again Banthenar getting an additional 10 points. And at this point, not only from just the sheer defeat of that, they go down in terms of the Seeker. Yukio raising with pride, the snitch above their head, an additional 30 points.
Now this is some of the danger time if you're on the squad of Hazian Mentors. Game number 2, backs against the wall. Gotta lock in here. 70 points down. It's far from over. There's 3.5 minutes. There is plenty of time for them to score, for them to take over this snitch, take over this game. But gotta control the quaffle first. Gotta get some shots on goal, and they're trying to do just that, but it's taken away immediately. Banthenar moving it up the field to Yukio. Now it's going to be Harry Potter trying to put this game on ice.
Not Ross, sends a few their way, gets that bludger, now gets the quaffle as well. This could be their chance. It's their best offensive hope. A good pass up the line. It's now going to be up to Zach of all trades. Can you do it all as you promise? Not quite. Losing possession of the quaffle. It's Harry Potter's turn to counter.
Quaffle is still flying free in the air for right now before it's taken by Yukio. Still trying to score. Still another 50 seconds before they have to get back to being the Seeker. Trying to get a goal first, but it's taken away. Quaffle down the pitch before Banthenar is able to hold it. Moving it back into the attacking zone, though, over to Yukio with an incoming pass, but the one-timer is going to be off the mark as a Quaffle sails beneath the hoops.
That's going to be a really big elimination as Zach of all trades gets put down, stunned instantly. They don't know where they are. They've been confounded. They didn't make sure to block this one. Another bludger sails their way. The keeper's down, but they're certainly not out. You still have Quaffle in your possession. Ross moving it down the field with the quickness, but with 2 minutes left and still 70 points behind, it's dire straits.
It's difficult to tell if Harry Potter are just getting turned away on defense or if they're failing their passes on offense, but regardless, the result is the same. There are no goals. The snitch is back out. This is where Hazy Dementors can take this one over. Instead, Jay Mahler doing a nice job keeping Zach of all trades occupied and is able to eliminate the keeper, a bot keeper, but still, now the snitch is out. Chasers, or Seekers rather, going after it, and it's going to be, it looks like Yukio to spot a first.
Zach of all trades does get an additional 10 points in the meantime, but it really does all come down to the snitch, and Smokey sees it within their grasp. They see the series as well being hinged on if they can wrap their fingers around that golden ball. A bludger wraps around their head. Their noggin's been shattered, and now with a bit more evasion, they can try to catch up. Not going to be doing so. They fall to the ground.
Oh, and that's so unfortunate. Smokey had a bit of a lead too, but now it's going to be Yukio taking control back over, closing in on getting the snitch, and with the beater on the Seeker now for the other side. Smokey, not much of a chance getting back into this one. It all lies on Ross to knock Yukio off the trail.
Doing their best to try to get that bludger laser targeted. After all, the witch to send to Harry Potter. Hopefully Davi can help you out there. With 1 minute remaining though, Yukio puts an end to it all. 110-20. The snitch goes to Harry Potter, the series as well.
Harry Potter with a convincing round 3 win? Round 2 win? I don't know which round it is. It's the semifinals. That's all that matters. And soon it's going to be the finals for Harry Potter. A nice game moves them into position to battle for first place. And Hazy Dementors, said it at the end of game 1. We'll say it again after game 2. It was a well-fought victory. I think this is just a case of one team being insanely, insanely good. It's not anything the Dementors did bad. It's just Harry Potter being better.
Harry Potter, the boys who lived to see the next round, the Dementors. A very good Patronus Charm wards them off and takes them out of the tournament. They put up a good fight. It just wasn't good enough. There's a reason why this team is a top contender.
There really is, and you can see every single member contributing in a big way. Obviously, Banthanar, a demon on both sides of the field, Yukio, with some very nice chases. And I gotta say, watching Jay Mahler's point of view, it is impressive to see the target prioritization, all the moves with the bludger, sending them to the targets on the right time, keeping it in their control. Doing an incredible job, Harry Potter, deservedly moving on to the finals.
Congratulations to them as they move on, and that's okay because we got more games coming up for you in just a bit. So don't you dare go anywhere. More QC comp at you after the break.
As the Broomstick Bandit surprised everybody, I would say, as all the keeper stomps and the aggressive gameplay that they were showing to get the victory. But they're going to be facing the Firebolts with a lot of veterans here that some would say, when you see these names, it's a bit scary. You got Westy, Alaudin, and Neil Baller. So that's going to be very fun to watch.
Yeah, it really is.
Excited for
It's
the first game?
powerful. I'm very excited. It's a powerful team comp on both sides. Like you said, the Broomstick Bandits making a little bit of a Cinderella run through the bracket right now. So absolutely want to see them continue on that. You know, everybody loves the underdog story. And I'd argue whichever team here ends up going against Harry Potter is probably a little bit of an underdog story. That team, as you just saw in the previous match, so strong. It's going to be so difficult to get the best of them. So whichever one of these two teams wins here, they better be bringing their A game.
Definitely, they're the team to beat. You know, I feel like a lot of people want to see someone contend against them, bring a game to the third game, best of 3. But we'll see. They've been pretty dominant. Obviously, that practice has been paying off. So it's going to be very interesting to see these new players against the veterans here. As Harry Potter will be in the finals. It's going to be very fun to see here.
Really is. Both teams in the lobby. Both teams ready to go. Want to start this one out strong. It's going to be the Broomstick Bandits taking on Fireball. It looks like first possession is going to go over to Fireball.
And Westy has the ball right here. Oh, very nice score right there. The Firebolt's up ahead. I mean,
Bandits.
down by 10.
Yeah, Bandits up ahead. It was the Fireball to control the first, but gave the ball over very quickly. Broomstick Bandits doing that job on offense, and that was a big theme of our other semifinals. The offense with the Quaffle there on Harry Potter was almost unstoppable. See if these teams are able to replicate that success. It's already moving all over, and a shot is not going to be on target, so the Broomstick Bandits regain control.
Yes, they do. As you see here, a lot of melee hits coming into play. Oh, very beautiful play right there. The one-timer, as they call it. Very hard to defend. It happens so quickly as a pass into a shot, as you saw right there.
Yeah, extremely powerful shot. Really difficult to stop. Can't fault the keeper at all for letting that one in. But it's retaking possession. Firebolt's looking for an answer back here, down 20-0, trying to get 10 on the board with some nice moves from the chaser. Unfortunately, taken away at the last moment. It's going to be Phoenix now in control of the Quaffle.
Firebolts are definitely going to have to be aware of the snitch here to get them back in the game. As they're down by 20, they have to score here to keep it close. So the snitch catch is very valuable. If it gets out of hand, it's not going to be worth much. Oh, very nice elimination there. As the AI, you know, bots are powerful sometimes, and sometimes they do nothing. So very impactful play right there as a player is knocked out.
Yeah, against Pickles as well, so going to be relegated to the keeper. Now, you can't get back onto the chaser until they respawn, which should be fairly soon. But you got a good opportunity now. Quaffle coming down the pitch. It's going to be all up to the keeper. Can they stop it? No, they cannot. What a shot. Westy with the assist by Loudon. Snitch spawning in just a few seconds. Both these teams going to have to get aggressive, have to look for this one, see which Seeker is able to come out on top.
The Fireball's finally getting on the board. Sometimes you just need to get on the board to get things moving. It's a mental block because the momentum shifts very rapidly in a fast-paced game like this. And the snitch is out. It's going to be very exciting here as everybody is going to be focused here as the score is now even. Everything determines on this snitch right here.
Neo Baller doing a nice job, and wow, that's a very, very low Seeker. Look at Phoenix there, and that's Neo Baller as the beater, I believe, getting active, and yes, it is Neo Baller with the kill there, so it's going to be all the other Seeker all the time now. Firebolts have a massive advantage if they can keep alive. Look for the beater on the other side, Jinx, to try and take advantage of that and knock the Seeker off course.
Yeah, that elimination was so clutch, especially in a competitive game like this. You have to get an elimination back. As you can see, the meter here is very high for Firebolts. You know, the Bandits have nothing. It's very, very small right there. So it's pretty much you can assume the Firebolts are going to get this 30 unless elimination happens very, very soon, which is looking very unlikely. And there it is, Westy with the catch. That's a big, big catch right there. If the Bandits don't come back with 10 points, then it's going to kind of snowball.
Yeah, Westy with a nice snitch catch to put the Firebolts up 50-30. Remember, everybody, is a best on 3, so still plenty of times. Nice one-timer, though, from down the stretch. Phoenix making it happen from long range. Broomstick Bandits pulling back up within 10. And they kept Phoenix chasing the snitch last time despite the big deficit. Got to think that extra time on the chaser might have helped them even the score here. But only down by 10. Plenty of opportunities, but Quaffle firmly in control of the Firebolts.
Oh, very nice stop from the Bandits right there as the Firebolts tried to score, but keeper stopping that goal right there. You know, what's very interesting, whenever a snitch comes out, how many players are going to be put on the snitch? Sometimes they put everything, and sometimes the beater is doing so well, you only put one player on there. Well, they try to increase the score with the Quaffle, 10 here, 10 there, and now it's even. And pretty soon the snitch will be coming out, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the eliminations occur right here from a lot of the bots eliminations from earlier.
Yeah, every aspect of this game about to get amplified. We're tied at 50 apiece with 50 seconds until the snitch gets unlocked. So a lot of 50s already in this game, but it has been at the side of Broomstick Bandits getting the advantage on offense. A nice kick off the roof, unfortunately going to be taken away by the enemy team though. Broomstick Bandits now in control of the Quaffle. We'll see if they can keep it. It's going to be Pickles with it, moving it up the course. Phoenix has been a demon so far as a chaser, but it's going to be Pickles to get the goal, or Jinx rather, with a nice pass from Phoenix. So the Quaffle dominance continues. Broomstick Bandits are putting up a lot of points on offense.
I've been seeing the Bandits are doing a really good job closing in on the positioning to stop passes from the Firebolts, as I've been seeing a lot of positioning for waiting for the pass, setting up to try to score, and the Bandits just causing too much mayhem to just ruining their plans right now. They're kind of trying to figure out how to regroup. Got to regroup quickly when the score is this close. As the snitch is out, you got to get the snitch here for sure.
And the beater and Neo Baller is doing an incredible job. Look at the health pool there of Phoenix. One shot away from death. Bludger incoming manages to dodge it though, so a nice job by Phoenix. We'll see if they can get that health back up in time. They can't. They are in trouble now. In control of the snitch a little bit, a tiny bit more progress, but it won't matter. They're on the turf. Westy has the elimination, and just like that, it's going to be Westy allowed to search for the snitch in complete peace.
Yeah, that was very clutch right there. As you can see, his health was diminishing little by little, and I bet you the callouts were going crazy. Hey, he's won, and all the focus within a matter of seconds pays off as the snitch here is almost inevitable, and Wesley does get the lead for the Firebolts.
Firebolts take control 80-60, just over 1 minute left remaining. But if you're a fan of the Broomstick Bandits, not all hope is lost. They have been the more dominant team with the Quaffle, and the Snitch is not going to be up in the next minute, so it's going to be all Quaffle play from here on out if they want to win it. And it's going to be some very defensive play on the side of Firebolts. Moving it back up the Corso, Westy now with it, and they're just playing keep away at this point. Quaffle nearly goes into the net from an own goal, but that won't happen. No mistakes today. Oh, but taken away. It's Jinx now and a power play coming here for the Broomstick Bandits.
Firebolts really have to show their defense right here. Are they going to play defensively, or are they going to try to score one more? It's really just a play not to lose or play to win. It's going to be a very interesting choice right here. Loudon being very consistent so far in today. So I would assume they're going to try to score. Yes, that's what they're going to do. Or not. They're going to try to hold the ball. What do you think they should do here? I would say go for it. I think it's really risky keeping the ball to the rings.
Yeah, and it didn't work out last time, but with just 5 seconds left, a 10-point lead, they're just going to throw the Quaffle all over. There is not enough time, no matter how powerful your shot. The Firebolts take game one of a well-fought match. I'm sure there will be plenty of analysis between these next games. And as game two is coming up, you got a lot to look forward to if you're the Broomstick Bandits. An incredible job on offense. But on the other side, 2 snitch catches, 2 goals apiece. Really not a lucky win, but definitely a little bit underwhelming when you compare to the dominance on the court that the Bandits had.
Yeah, the final score really didn't do its justice. It really could have gone either way. Everybody on the Firebolts, everybody doing exactly what they were supposed to do, and every little bit mattered there. If one little thing went wrong, it could have easily turned in their favor. The Bandits taking that one.
Yeah, really could have. And I mean, that bodes well if you're in a best of 3, right? You know you're going to have your chance to get back, have your chance to push us on to game 3, get back into this game. And when you play game 1 as good as that one, it's definitely a good sign, right? You're going to be confident. It's not like you just got beat 100-0. You never even came close to scoring. It was a really, really well-fought match. So I'd expect all the members here, they know they're the underdogs. They know they got to come back now to get their way into the finals. I'd expect them to be fired up. I'd expect this one to be an overwhelming victory to the Bandits. I'm ready to see some fire.
Yeah, it really shows how strong you are mentally to come back from this. You just got to play like it didn't happen with the score that close. Really, anybody's game. And I mean, we're not even in the finals yet, so got to be mentally prepared. And everybody had a chance to make a play, so I'm expecting the next game to be very different. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I got to see what happens. And the one thing that did happen that game that I feel we definitely got to talk about more, the Seeker play from the Firebolts, they were incredible. Their Seeker did such a good job. Westy never had the eye off the ball there, was getting them very quickly. And Neo Baller on the beater within seconds of the snitch spawning every time. Phoenix, was it 10%, 20% health? It was just immediate. And I don't know what team has a hope in winning if you're going to do that every time. We got to see some Titan play. I don't know if it's dodging damage better. I don't know if it's putting damage onto their Seeker as well, because I feel like Westy was never in too much trouble chasing the snitch. But regardless, the Broomsticks, or the Broomstick Bandits rather, have to do a better job around this snitch.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The Firebolts, I give them a lot of credit for, the comms. When somebody's low, you have to coordinate to really take out that Seeker. It's very important. One person got a hit, I got a hit. If no one can get the hit, you got to shift your priorities. So they were able to get one hit, and they just said, we're going to go full on, put all our resources on this, and it paid off. So that was really a determining factor right there. I think the little things like call-outs, whenever you get a little hit on someone, is it worth investing all your resources to eliminate that player? If he's on a streak, we can't stop him. We have to get him out right now so we can capitalize. Because if you just don't address the problem, that's going to get out of hand, and you're going to lose the game for sure.
Got to be careful with the gameplay. And speaking of the gameplay, we are back into game number 2. Quaffle once again taken over by the Broomstick Bandits early. It's going to be Phoenix moving it up the court with some nice passes, with some nice shots, and with a nice first goal. THC Jinx going to be the first one on the board here as the Broomstick Bandits move up 10-0.
Yes, yeah. So what are they going to do here? Are they going to come back, or are they going to... Yeah, they kick very far. I thought they were going to have a chaser come back and slowly protectively, but they're going very aggressive, trying to get that 10 points, and it pays off. Very nice decision. Neo Baller has been showing he's been an MVP today. Very nice goal from there.
Nice goal and an aggressive keeper play. Pickles went extremely far out of the net to try to play that one. Neo Baller just got right by them. Little bit of a misplay from the keeper, but plenty of time to remedy that. Ball once again in the hands of Phoenix. Been an incredible chaser this game, and that just continues. What a juke, what a shot, and another goal goes away. The Broomstick Bandits up 20-0. So about 1 minute left for the snitch, and we're left in a very similar scenario to where we were in game number 1.
Yes, again, I'm really waiting for this niche to come out, to be honest, to see. Sometimes it kind of really depends on who gets that first elim on this niche, because it's been so close. Both teams being able to score against each other. A very nice kick from Aladdin right there. He's going to try to stop the goal here. Will he be able to? Oh, and he misses it. Yeah, very nice teamwork to help Aladdin. Sometimes you need help on keeper. Oh, unfortunate as a team, the Bandits score one right there.
Yeah, and you're going to be especially needing help when you play the Broomstick Bandits. This team is so good on the chasers. One shot goes wayside, but the rest able to pass it off to success. Pickles on very low HP as a keeper, so we could see a little bit of offense here from the Firebolts if they're able to take them out. Snitch spawning in, though, so you know what that means. The most competitive time of the game about to start. Westy with the kill from the assist from Neo Baller. Westy now on the Seeker, and so is Phoenix. Which one of these two is going to get the advantage this time?
I'm going to go and say if a Seeker gets hit by the keeper, it could really determine this game. It's that close. That's something that small. Will he be able to stop it? Oh, very good movement right there from Pickles. It's hard to stop. I've noticed he comes and approaches in different angles and different speeds. You expect him to do one thing and he comes at you with another. But yeah, it's looking very close with the snitch meter right here. And yeah, both players on the snitch are definitely keeping their space, being more aware after last game. Do you think that a beater's going to get a clutch hit on a keeper right now as they try to score? Because it seems like the bandits have no trouble trying to get in there with 10 points with no beater
Ooh.
assist.
Well, there's a big beater move. Once again, it's a Neoballer taking down Phoenix. Granted, it was already Westy firmly in control of the snitch there, had the lead for a long time, but low on health. Did they get taken out as well? I think they did. Yeah, wow, both the Seekers are down.
You just got to focus all your attention on the 10 points here until they come back. Oh, they're saying the one-timer. Oh, what happened there? He misses it.
Nice try, Chaser.
That could be very vital later on.
Both Seekers going after the snitch yet again, so we should see some of these teams start to take closer. It looks like Phoenix has made up a lot of ground for that miss, but in the meantime, it's going to be a Loudon scoring, so brought to within 20, can really extend their lead here, though. Both teams sticking close to it, both teams so close to the blue range, and it looks like Phoenix is the first one to it. Can he get close enough? Bumped off by the keeper. Still racing, both of these keepers so close, and it's going to be Phoenix for the first time this set getting advantage, 80-30. Broomstick Bandits 3 minutes away from putting this one in the dust and taking us on to a game 3.
Phoenix with a very clutch catch right there. I'm not sure if you noticed, but he actually avoided 2 kicks from the keeper, which could have eliminated him, could have turned the game around, but he was very well aware after last game that I can't get hit by the keeper. Sometimes you forget the keeper can eliminate you. But yeah, he's there. He can give you a really good kick. Oh, very nice. Oh, he actually missed there. The pressure is getting high as you need the points right now if you are the Firebolts to come back. I mean, what do you think right now? Do you put all your resources on the Chasers? What do you think, Fisher?
You got to put a little bit of stock into that. If I'm Firebolts, I'm already thinking my Seeker is going to be the one to catch the snitch. Wesley has been incredible so far this set doing just that. The problem is you got to put some on defense because here come the Broomstick Bandits. Phoenix teeing up for the one-timer. Is he going to get it? Pass incoming. Shot off and shot good. Phoenix scores. Snitch up in just a few seconds. 10 points. And now if you're the Firebolts, this is where it's really in trouble. You can't let one goal in. You can't let the snitch get caught. You can't make any mistakes. Broomstick Bandits trying to put this one away.
If you want any chance of winning this, if you're the Firebolts, you have to keep the ball on the other side of the field. You have to get these steals when the keeper kicks it. I mean, if you time it right, it's very difficult to spin because even when you spin, sometimes you get the quaffle taken away. So they need to put on the pressure here and get the snitch. It's going to be very difficult, but it is doable. I've seen games like this turn around many times. So it's still anybody's game if they can keep their focus and stop this goal right here.
Yeah, Westy's ahead with the snitch, but it's not going to matter because Pickles is there, and Pickles with the shot puts it through. It's going to be the Broomstick Bandits winning 100-40 by a much larger gap than we saw in game number 1. So that's it. Everybody grab your popcorn. Our first decider game of this tournament is going to happen. Game 3 between the Broomstick Bandits and the Firebolts should be coming up shortly. And that was a thundering Game 2 win. And I got to say, the first time, the real difference maker there has to be the Seekers. By getting the elimination onto Westy, really kind of shut them down in their tracks, and getting it was easy for Phoenix. After that, Respawn First was able to chase it down better. It's what we wanted to see after game number 1, wanted to see this team come back in and play better on the Seeker. And they did just that, which begs a question for game number 3. If you're the Firebolts, what do you have to do? Because you just got countered in game number 2. You got to switch up something going into game 3. If it's up to you, Blue, what do you have to change on that team?
Well, you got to address the problems that you're having. Hey, I need help on this end, or oh, I can't figure this out, or maybe we have to change strategies because obviously it seems like the Bandits have figured out the Firebolts. So this is where you need to adjust. And the Bandits adjusted. We got to see if the Firebolts have a counter strategy because a lot of good teams have different approaches to how they want to attack. The one-timers, playing defensive, things like that. So I really want to see how this third game pans out because It's still anybody's game. It's still 0-0 right now.
Yeah, it effectively is reset. This next game is going to win it all. First 100 players back in the lobby. Everybody's ready to go. Warm-ups just around the corner, so we will have that Game 3 action very, very soon. But give me your predictions. Given everything we've seen Game 1, Game 2, you have to pick one of these teams to win at Game 3. Who's your guess?
Oh, you gotta ask me that one? Well, you have to answer that one
100%.
too.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You know,
you
I
first.
think-
You first.
All right, I think Aladdin's been. I've seen him playing. He's been adjusting. I would like to think the Firebolts have an advantage on this one, but it's really hard to say. The Bandits, like, they basically adjusted from the last game way better than I expected. I expected them to go in and do the same thing, but they didn't. So I'm assuming they're going to be harder to beat in this third game, but I think the Firebolts have it in them to win this one. What do you think?
I gotta go Bandits. I love an underdog story. Some people might tell you defense wins championships, but in this game, it's offense, and their quaffle play is unstoppable. But game number 3 is starting. We'll see what the play is and talk about the quaffle, and it's going to be a big miss, unfortunately, there. Jinx not able to land at home with a nice juke. Quaffle control now going to go over to the Firebolts. We'll see what they can do to put their stamp on this game.
And the play caller rings from Aladdin doing a lot of work, giving a lot of boost to the chasers, and it pays off as the Bandits unable to keep up with the chasers, giving a 10-point lead. Very, very smart. You know, the play caller rings go unnoticed a lot of the time, but when games are this close, you need the boost all the time. If you don't have any rings, you lose boost, you're slow, and people are going to catch up to you and steal that quaffle. So very nice rings from Aladdin right there.
Yeah, now the quaffle going to go the other way, though. Phoenix with the goal, assisted by Pickles. Yet again, it's this Seeker for the Broomstick Bandits, really coming up in clutch. Tied at 10 each, and to their credit, Firebolts have been looking a little bit stronger in this beginning of the game. We'll see if they can get the lead yet again. Quaffle control on their side as they start to take it down the pitch here. And the keeper, Pickles, hasn't been under a ton of pressure in this game. And if I'm the Firebolts, I'm trying to put them in some. Now taking it back up the pitch. Once again, Broomstick Bandits with the advantage.
The Bandits able to get a hit on one of their chasers. They called it out, and they focused heavily to get that elimination. Now you're down a chaser. So it's very difficult when you have when you're a man down and you have all these shovel passes and full power like passes as well. Because if you chuck it too early, it can get intercepted. But they're making sure they're leaving nothing to chance. So we'll see how they respond here, as the Firebolts do have possession and they're going to try to score here. And it looks like the Snitch is out as well. Or
Oh yeah, and it's an unfortunate miss error from the Firebolts. Had the quaffle near the net, but weren't able to land at home. The Snitch is out, and this is where this Firebolt team rather really shows their muscles. This is where they got to start flexing right here. Have to catch the Snitch, and once again, Westy does have the short advantage out of the gate. Gonna be interesting to see if they're able to keep it, though. The beaters from both sides did a phenomenal job in game number 2, and it's going to be Neoballer getting the advantage in game 3. It's another low health bar for Phoenix. That's been their problem this entire game so far, yet to remedy it and clashing hard with the other Seeker, but still low health, still one shot away from falling down to the turf.
yeah, they set their priority as the Firebolts to able to get a hit on the enemy team. The Bandits getting hit their Seeker. They allowed that goal. Sometimes you have to allow the goal for the bigger picture. Allow 10 points to get the 30. So let's see if it pays off here. As they're getting very, very close. It looks even, actually, as they both Snitches are 100%. So it's really going to determine the beaters helping out the Seekers, but will it be too late?
The Seeker emerges with the Snitch.
Oh, but Snitch in control. How about that? Phoenix with the comfort behind there. Thought for sure Westy had the Snitch locked up. It would have evened us out at 40 apiece, but now it's 70-10. Broomstick Bandits. The underdogs are not ready to go home yet. An incredible steal of the Snitch, as now the Firebolts are on the back foot. A quick goal, though, by Neoballer is going to set us closer. It's a 50-point difference, so they need the Snitch and then some. If you're the Broomstick Bandits, you just got to play lights out defense for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, things are looking very dire for the Firebolts, but nothing is undoable, as they need a little bit of momentum to come back in this game. They need the stop right here. Will they be able to get it? Oh, it's getting very close here as their team gets possession. Yeah, it's very doable, because when you get ahead, sometimes you get too comfortable. Sometimes you think that it's over, and you start to play not to lose. And then when you should be aggressive. Let's see if they can capitalize right here on this 10 points and move the momentum and try to get the Snitch. But if they get 10 points, it could be over. I mean, what are your thoughts on, do you think they can come back?
I think they can, just because I think throughout this game, even though we're even at snitches actually now at 2 apiece, they've shown themselves to be the stronger team on the snitch, and now they're back within 30. Neoballer has been the unhailed hero this set for the Firebolt, been doing it all on beater, and now as a chaser this game is really starting to show up. But yeah, I think Westy's been a little bit more convincing on the snitch than Phoenix has. Phoenix has had some really nice steals. This one in particular thought for sure it was going the other way, so still well within the realm of possibilities. But it's do or die now. This snitch is either going to even this game up or it's going to end it.
They're going to have limited opportunities to score on the quaffle, and they did take advantage right here. At this point, you need to make every attempt right here with the quaffle. Any stop from the keeper from the bandit is going to be very dire, as the next snitch will be appearing right here. So this is, I would say, the game is on the line. If the Firebolts can keep their defense scoreless, keep the bandits scoreless, and get the snitch, it's still anybody's game. If they lose 20 points, it could be over. So a lot of pressure is on Loudon, but that's what you want when you're a high level player, to show what you're made of. So let's see what happens.
A lot of pressure on the keepers, a lot of pressure on the seekers as well. Obviously, Westy wants to put his team ahead. Phoenix wants to bury this game. It's a very even race. Maybe a little bit towards the side of Westy. Ooh, but a nice goal. Pickles. Not sure how the keeper missed that one. It looked like Loudon was all over it, but just barely squeaking by. Nice shot from the keeper on the other side. And it's now Westy with a firm control of this snitch, well within the lead, looking at the meters. Just has to stay that way, and it's going to need to be massive from Jinx, but the beater is almost dead. You can't get the Seeker off if you're dead, and that's going to be Neoballer taking down Jinx. The target prio here from the beater is going to go crazy. This game's even. 1 minute to go. Snitch caught. Broomstick Bandits and Firebolts coming down to the wire.
It all comes down to this. I think it's going to be a qualifiable game here, as they're going to put all the pressure on. You have to play to win here. You can't score 10 points and play not to lose. You have to be aggressive. As you've seen, playing defensive, both teams have had a hard time playing defensive against each other. Oh, nice bludger hit. That could have been the game there. As there's 30 seconds here, you do have an opportunity to get 10 points and then possibly steal and hold it. This is the game here. Will he be able to take advantage of this? Oh, they're having a lot of trouble getting over there. I would say their defense is pretty tight these last 3 games. What do you think on their defense?
It's been good, but now the Quaffles in the other hands. Jinx on the offense has been a hero here in game number 3. The one-timer! What a save! Loudon booting it down the court as well. The time should run out shortly here. It's taken by Phoenix, but you're not going to be able to get near the goal. And just like that, sudden death. Next goal wins it. It's going to be on attack. Here comes Phoenix. Can he score it? Yes, he can. The Cinderella story will not stop here. Broomstick Bandits moving on to the finals.
The band is taking every opportunity there. Very unfortunate. You know, Loudon made a very clutch stop right there. But sometimes when you make the stop, you don't know where the quaffle is going to go. And the Bandits put themselves in a good position to get the quaffle and get another attempt to secure the win. So that was a very fun match to watch. Very devastating if you're the Firebolts, but that was a close game.
A tough loss to take, but could not have come against a team with more passion. Broomstick Bandits moving on to the finals. Don't know how many expected it, but it is here. They're going to be taking on Harry Potter to see who the winner of the very first tournament for Quidditch Champions is going to be. And what a game. You really can't ask for a better semifinals. Sudden death overtime in game number 3. It doesn't get better than that. Unless we go to sudden death overtime in game number 5. It could happen. Finals is a best of 5, and that one is going to be just on the horizon. I don't think there's much more we can say here to break it down, so we're going to throw it to a short break, and then we'll be back with the grand finals between Broomstick Bandits and Harry Potter.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, what about that last go around for the one to be chosen to the finals? It was quite the match all the way until the end. What a battle, Blue. I mean, you were there to experience the whole thing. Just what was the environment like? I was way too busy figuring out how to do a bow tie, which I haven't figured it out yet.
It was basically any person that got hit. The focus was crazy. You get hit once, you're dead. Like the bludgers, the punching, everybody was spacing themselves out. It was a very close game. So I'm expecting more of this in the next game. You'll see. You'll see for sure.
Indeed. Aladdin, we know, obviously getting some clutch stops there just at the end. You know, that final score going through, heartbreaking, heart-shattering, yet they will have to quickly get their mental back up here to prove themselves as a you know, the runner-up to be, you know, against another team that has shown a lot of grit, especially against some very tough teams, a lot tougher bracket than others have gone through, and yet they've come this far, and that is the Hazy Dementors, I believe.
Yes,
I'm trying to
yes.
remember the names.
Zach of all
Okay.
trades, it's your boy Ross, and It's Be Smokey will be there waiting for the firebolts.
Indeed. Flyrish is a meme for real. Listen, always fix your bow tie. I will not fix. This is the bow tie you get. All right. This is a bow tie of the greatest caster that this game will ever have. All right. Clip it here, folks. All right. This is the best you're ever gonna get. All right. It gets no better than this. It's all downhill. There will never be another Flyrish caster. So, you know, you accept what you get. All right. And this, what you're about to get, is one of the best third place games ever. Chat, let me see some hypes.
We will see if he's the Zach of all trades after this one and secure this win, as both these teams don't want to go home with the loss. I mean, you come very, very close to getting to the grand finals. You got to get this win right here.
Westy winning the dive off, but quickly getting tackled by Zach of all trades. Zach of all trades taking it downfield, passing it out with Neo Baller open. That's an interesting, but he was being hounded. Westy missing the tackle. Neo Baller shooting again, throwing it for the one-timer, but did get kicked out.
Yeah, the one-timer there taking too long to set up as you're moving when you're trying to kick there, and there's just so much pressure. Sometimes you can't set it up correctly because the one-timer does need to be prepared in advance. Oh, what a nasty elimination right there.
Indeed, from Neo Baller. Loudon actually putting out keeper rings, not something that we see very often from a keeper point of view. That is rare tech, ladies and gentlemen. Players putting out keeper rings. The one-timer, though, by Westy, kicking on in there on the far right goal, breaking the tie of 0-0, putting the score on a board of 10-0. 6 minutes left on the clock. Snitch is out in 1 minute. This may come down to another fierce Snitch race. A lot of low-scoring games in a lot of these games, you know, just in general, I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised myself. It's there's just so much pressure on the Seekers. It's very entertaining to see if teams go right to the chaser route after their Seeker has been eliminated. But today, everyone's like, no, we don't care. That's your Seeker's got to go down too. So I've seen some teams are like, oh, well, we didn't get the Seeker. We didn't get the Snitch this time. We got to put up the chaser points. But not today, though.
Neo Baller getting 20 on the board for Bashful Boat Truckers walking down. And again, the quaffle going up in the air. Neo Baller throwing it over to Westy. Westy hit with a bludger, though. Fumbling it. It's okay. Neo Baller still with it. Taking a dodge and a drift, throwing it to the close goal on his right. The Snitch is out, too, with a 30-0 lead at this point now. Hazy Dementors have got to get this Snitch.
Yeah, they've got to get at least 10 points and get the Snitch to really come back from this. You could end the game here if you are the Firebolts. So it's very motivating to get the Seeker at all costs here. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Quaffle was just in the middle of the field, no one touching it. It's just all the attention is on the Seeker right here, as both Seekers are avoiding a lot of bludgers here. It's going to be very interesting.
Indeed, in correction, I did call them the Bashful Boat Truckers. They are the Firebolts. Many of these players share the team on the Bashful Boat Truckers. That is, I would say, the parent team. So apologies if I mixed that up. Loudon taking a shot just a little low, though, unfortunately. That would have gone in had it made it. 10 points on the board for Hazy Dementors and the Snitch within reach. This could give them the lead.
Yes. by 10 points, and you need a lead like this after being down so early. Just shows you the mental strength the team has to not to give up after being down by 30.
Indeed, but Neo Baller eliminated by Ross on the beater, allowed in getting another score in, giving that 30-point cushion again for what it seems to inevitably is going to happen. Westy back on the trail, but Smokey TTV finally gets the catch, tying it at 40-40 with 3.5 minutes to go.
Fear the Firebolts, you need something like this. And oh my goodness, there it is, the separation. Very nice score right there. Will it get out of hand, or are they going to come back with another 10 points?
At this point, Aladdin, I believe, has scored the last 3 goals, really warming up, something that Firebolts definitely need from their star keeper. But the ball is passing up to him, and it gets stolen by Neo Baller. Again, that aggressiveness. He was hawking that from a mile away, picked his moment, found when to go. Now Westy is going up, charging it early. The keeper, I believe, is dead. So Westy getting a free one from downtown.
Yeah, and the bots are going crazy right now. As you mentioned earlier, the beater bots are very scary. Scary, even, I dare say, as real players. Right there,
Aladdin getting the steal, but stolen right back by Ross. Now going on. Passing it to Zach of all trades. Zach of all trades about to take on Aladdin, but Aladdin, Westy actually intercepting the shot.
What a block
right there. Sending it back
to
Aladdin, sending it to Neo Baller. Neo Baller throwing a pass shovel to Westy, setting up for a one-timer, got punched, but still able manages to grab the quaffle. Zach of all trades with the block, though.
Yeah, that was good. And the snitch is in play right now. As always, it is going to be a determining factor whether the game will end or not right here. It's been so close in the chaser game. A lot of games you see at a high level, it gets out of hand with the chaser game, but both teams really stepping up today to make it close, to make the snitch even worth getting.
Yes, Firebolt's looking to do a little bit better attempt than the first one. Westy getting killed early on, giving Smokey that early lead. But Westy definitely has a lot to fight. Getting bumped, getting bludgered. Zach of all trades closing up the score, making this even more important for both teams to catch this snitch. Right now, though, Westy actually bringing it ahead.
Not Ross almost
looking low.
Not Ross almost getting the elimination there as a bump almost got hit into a bludger. Unsuccessful. As Firebolts get the 30 points.
Smokey dying, seeing his season here end with that bludger in his face as soon as Westy catches it as well. Neo Baller just looking to close it out. However, still some fighting. Hazy Dementor, Zach of all trades grabbing it, sending it up to Zach. Or sorry, Smokey saying this is not over. They got 40 seconds. They're looking to score 3. I do not know if that is possible, but hey, you know, who knows what will come to be. Neo Baller getting the pass, sending it up to Westy. That's probably going to be it. Westy mostly free and sending it 100 to 60. The first game going to Firebolts. I do not know if this is a best of 3 or if that is the Firebolts taking it for the dub. Best of 3. Firebolts taking it in for game 1. Good recovery for them, especially after that first snitch race, Blue, where, I mean, Westy taking an early death. The momentum definitely going in Hazy Dementor's side by catching up, but still, they stayed true. They allowed and heated up, got some scores in. Westy got a downtown shot with a dead keeper, and they just kept rolling, catching the next snitch. And from that point, it was done. It was done for game 1. Now Hazy Dementor is looking to pick it up for game 2. What do you think that they have to do, Blue, to put in a much better effort into game 2?
To stop the downtown shots like that, you got to communicate and keep an eye on the keeper. Sometimes the beaters and the other team doesn't touch your keeper. And then when you're trying to stop the quaffle from getting scored on, you realize there's no keeper there because you just forgot about it. Because you were so, you thought it was going to survive, and you take it for granted that no one's attacking your keeper until it actually happens. So that's devastating when you figure that out, when it's too late. So that was interesting to watch.
very tough, aspect of this game. Being able to take out a whole roll without even them being able to realize that has happened until it was a bit too late. Unfortunately, one of the hardest things for the keeper to deal with is they are kind of stuck in their area. And they took full advantage of that going into here, helping Westy get one free goal. I think Hazy Dementors does have a chance here, but they have to stop the momentum of Firebolts that they gained so early in last game.
Yes, I definitely agree.
The dive off goes in a punch out, but ultimately Hazy Dementor is going to get not Ross taking it upfield, being hawked by Neoballer. Neoballer going for the tackle, does not get it, and not Ross with the score.
They're trying to set up the one-timer there, but he saw an opportunity and took it anyways. I think you have to do things like that. You can't plan everything, and that was a good 10 points. And let's see if they can steal it here. Oh, they had an opportunity. He missed. Here's an opportunity to even things out. Oh, what a clutch momentum change right there.
Westy with the one-timer. However, Zach of all trades reading it and positioning himself exactly where he needed to be. Also, this to point out, this is a much better start for Hazy Dementors. Already up 10-0. They did not get their first score until it was 30-0. They are being a lot more aggressive. Getting punched, Neoballer did. However, Aladdin still coming up with a quaffle. Taking a shot, Aladdin once again breaking the momentum to bring it into Firebolt's side.
Both teams are so skilled, scoring on each other. It's almost as if they're just waiting for the snitch to come out. Almost like they're buying time. Like, yes, we can score against each other. We want to get that snitch to determine everything here. Oh, what a nice save right there.
Jack of all trades proving once again how valuable he is to the Hazy Dementors. Stopping everything left and right, only allowing 10 on maybe 4 attempts on him so far. That's pretty good numbers in these days and age of keeper. However, Westy taking a major steal on a swirly Hazy Dementor. Trying to set up a one-timer Jesus shot. However, Zach of all trades once again taking it, switching back and forth all over the place.
Very good management of time right there. Unfortunately, it's not able to get that. Perhaps maybe switch too late there, as Aladdin's going to get a 10-point lead for his team.
Yeah, Zach of all trades taking on quite a load there, having to stop so many guys coming at him for once. However, the snitch is back out.
In your opinion, Fly, how much of a lead do you have to have on Chaser to put all your chasers on Seeker?
If you're putting all in on the snitch, I think you got to at least have a 20-point lead. Or it depends. You probably have to keep a Seeker, 2 people dedicated to the snitch, and keep 1 just for defense at midfield, hopefully to stop and let your keeper bot do some damage if possible. That is depending on the score if it is that out of hand. But right now, not
Westy
that out of hand.
Out.
And Westy is down, hit by a bludger. Smokey catching the first snitch again. But this time, instead of tying it to 40-40, putting them in the lead for 40-30, making that first 10 points really huge in comparison to last game.
Yeah, it was a clutch bludger right there to seal the deal to get a 10-point lead. Both teams doing everything they can here. Let's see if they score.
Westy throwing it back to Aladdin for a proper kick out. Very dangerous, though. Missed. Neoballer has the quaffle. But getting hit by the bludger. Throwing it back first, though. Westy dodging. Getting that goal in. Tying it up. 40-40. 3.5 minutes. This is like a repeat. We were here just last game. Westy getting an early steal. Being very oppressive on this end. Zagaball Trade stopping it, though. Hazy Dementors have really got to find a way to get this quaffle down the field. Zagaball Trades is just stopping everything over and over again. But Aladdin's going relatively unchallenged this game. They've really got to find a way to get it downfield. Maybe this is not Ross's time. Being hawked by Aladdin, though.
The pressure is immense as a shovel pass was able to keep control of the ball there. Oh, very nice score right there. It seems like it's getting harder and harder to score against these keepers today, I swear.
Yes, but not Ross. Taking advantage of the one time they did make it downfield. This is going to be crucial for them. Because right now, Firebolts are really owning the half court. just forcing everything on Zach of all trades. Allowed him with the ball again, passing it up to Neo Baller, taking the dodge. No dodge available coming into this, but he may have it back. Gets it last moment into the top goal. 50-50 with a snitch soon to come. Going downfield, Zach of all trades, however, gets stolen by Loudon for a quick turnaround. Zach of all trades is just not able to get his bearings in order for that. The snitch is back out. Now Firebolts with a 60-50 lead. This snitch is extremely important for Hazy Dementors. Losing this snitch means the end of the tournament for them. Gathering the snitch, capturing it, might mean just another chance. And right now, Westy, extremely low health. Down to 1. A bump would get Westy. Zach of all trades getting a score in while the sneaker snitch battle's going on. It is 60-60. Hazy Dementors' team right now is just really looking to storm back.
Oh,
Westy
what a
finally
elimination right there. Holy crap.
Huge
That's
elimination. Setting up Smokey for everything that he needs. Allowed in kicking it out.
It could be over there with that clutch elimination, and it is.
I do believe so. 30 points in 1 minute has been done before, but will they do it? They have been doing a great job of keeping the ball on that side of the field and keeping Zach under pressure, but Zach has just been stopping so much. Westy swirling around, looking for it, misses the first shot. That may have just been the nail. They probably needed to go perfection. Now the ball is going upfield. Not Ross looking Loudon in the face, saying this might be it. This might force the game 3. Does not Ross have it? Not Ross throws it out, kicks it to Smokey B for that one timer. Smokey B says it's not over just yet. Hazy Dementors sucking some life back into them for a game 3.
What an amazing catch there to bring it to a game 3. You almost thought it was over there until he actually caught the snitch.
Absolutely, indeed. This is quite the game, ladies and gentlemen. Quite the game for spot number 3. You couldn't ask for anything more exciting than this. And this isn't even the finals yet, ladies and gentlemen. And this is where we are. I mean, both are putting all their hearts in. Like I said, this was going to be scrappy. I think you really have to give a lot of credit to Zach of all trades for just constantly stopping Quaffle after Quaffle. I mean, he was under pressure the entire game. And then ultimately, Smokey being able to catch those snitches off of Hazy Dementors, beaters, clutch eliminations, keeping Westy so low health there towards the end. I mean, they fought. Doesn't matter how much Zach blocks, they're going to have to put more pressure on all assets of the field. They're going to have to get this ball upfield, I think. That's going to be extremely important for this. And now we're in for game 3. Hazy Dementors having the kickoff. But Neo Baller with the steal, taking it downfield. Shuffling it to Loudon. Setting up the one-timer. Zach of all trades kicking the one-timer away. Zach of all trades low health.
I'd like to tell the crowd how hard it is to stop those one-timers as a keeper.
Absolutely. Zach of all trades, unfortunately, taken out, but so is the keeper on that end as well. So Firebolt's doing a great job not allowing that score to go through. That was very scary for them. Neo Baller with an incredible steal. Neo Baller just taking it over and over and over again. Unfortunately, missing that shot. Psyched himself out a little bit with Zach of all trades. Not really doing much movement. Therefore, Zach of all trades getting it back again. Really a tale of just how impactful one player can be for a team.
Yeah, I'm actually have to do something really quick, but keep going, Flyrish. This game is very close here.
Absolutely, indeed. We have Loudon holding the Quaffle. Loudon and Zach of all trades. This has just truly been a battle of keeper/chasers. A one-timer misses. Zach of all trades able to clean it up. Set it to himself. He is now going downfield, sending it up to Smokey. However, it does not lock on. We have Smokey taking it downfield, looking Aladdin in the face, goes for it, and he gets a score. Finally, after 2 minutes in the game, we have a score. That just shows you how scrappy this game is, ladies and gentlemen. The snitch is coming out, and we just got our first score. No better way to fight for some bragging rights, some pride for the number 3. Unfortunately, the beater bot taking out Neoballer TV. That's not something you will see very often, ladies and gentlemen, and not a very good thing for the Firebolts right now, who are down. Westy's really got to fight for this snitch now. Smokey has been really doing well, continually taking a lead and keeping it, but it's up to Westy now to really show forth. Neoballer on beater. We got to see that aggressiveness again come through. Westy's very low already, though. Zach of all trades getting it to 20. Westy low health. Smokey in the lead. This is just getting even tougher and tougher for Firebolts, as it looks like it's very close to being a 50-0 game. What will Westy do? What will Neoballer do? Westy staying in it, getting a crucial bump there, stealing some. Will Westy actually bring this back? Neoballer getting a bludger hit on Smokey TTV. This is huge, but Smokey TTV is the one that's close to the snitch, but eliminated by a chaser tackle from Aladdin. All of a sudden, the tides have turned. Westy catching the snitch. It is a 30-20 game, ladies and gentlemen. Who could have foreseen this? They were on the verge of being down 50-0, on the verge of losing the entire tourney, the third place bragging rights, and all of a sudden they have a 10-point lead. What an incredible turnaround. Neoballer taking it upfield. Got a lot of momentum and chaser behind him. He takes a draft shot. He sends it to the top goal. And Neoballer doubling the score of Hazy Dementors. What will Hazy Dementors do? They have to respond back now. Otherwise, the bleed will just keep going. They can't let their mental get down. They've really got to find out what to do with this half-court defense that Firebolts is sending at them. Zach of all trades, doing everything he can to keep the ball from coming to his keeper. Sing it forward. Smokey, though, chasers all on him. He's dodging. He gets a score in. He's keeping life in for the Hazy Dementors. What an incredible showcase. What an incredibly scrappy game. Smokey just doing everything he can right now to make up for an unfortunate death on the snitch. But Neoballer already upfield. Tackle by Zach of all trades. That was a huge tackle. But Westy has it, passing it forward to Aladdin. Aladdin looking Zach of all trades in the face. Zach of all trades just doing everything he can. Everything he can to keep Hazy Dementors in it. Neoballer with the steal again. Can Zach of all trades keep performing? And he does! The secret battle is back out. Westy getting an early lead on it. Aladdin blocking a shot. Sing it for Smokey is dead. Smokey is down on the field. This is not looking good for Hazy Dementors. This is just incredibly just mind-boggling thing. Just 3 minutes ago, it was looking like a solid 50-0 for Hazy Dementors. Now, Firebolts with the lead. Firebolts in the lead of the snitch race. Just, they have got to find a way to respond. Hazy Dementors do. Not Ross eliminated. It is almost free for Westy. And all of a sudden, we go 70-30 with 57 seconds left. 4 scores might just be too much. What an incredible rally from Firebolts. What an incredible rally. They did not give up. But that has got to hurt for the hearts of the Hazy Dementors, especially Zach of all trades, who just put in so much. I mean, they've caught 2 snitches, and the score is 70. Zach of all trades, under all that pressure, has only allowed 1 score in. He has gotten all the steals, not Ross. just putting a little bit of bandage on the hurt that is to be. But it's just the bleed is still there. The wound is still open. 10 seconds remain. And the Quaffle will probably just hang out in the void until it is over. What an incredible rally. I don't think we can quite just put in the words the difficulty there for Firebolts in the position that they were. All hope looked lost, and yet just there, just at the end, they just force it their way. They willed it to their victory. Incredible matchup between these two. What an riveting, exciting three-way game series between these two, back and forth the whole way. I mean, give it up to both teams. They absolutely deserve it. But Firebolts, just grasping third place, confirming it for them. Now we look on to the finals, which will be against Harry Potter versus Broomstick Bandits. Three playtest veterans that have put so many hours into this game versus three up-and-comers who have quite shockingly, just put everyone on blast, put themselves on the radar, so that we are here to play. Now they have a really tough challenge to go up for. Pickles obviously really have done some incredible stops, but he will now be facing Banthador, who can also just play Chaser as deadly as he can. So that will be the next game series. We will be back after a short break. This is Flyrish. Blue is still here in spirit. Signing off. I'll be back for the finals. So will my bow tie.
Sonorous! Welcome back, witches and wizards, to the finals of the QC competition. I'm Deelo, joined here by Flyrish, joined here by the team stepping up to the pitch. It's Harry Potter up against the Broomsticks. Flyrish, how are we feeling?
Man, this is obviously going to be an extremely exciting game. Everyone wants to see just exactly what Harry Potter will do whenever it's all on the line. We do have an interesting development, though, with Broomstick Bandits. Pickles is unfortunately not able to finish as their keeper. They are getting a substitute. That puts a huge dynamic difference into the team of Broomstick Bandits. It's just exactly what it means for the game overall. Pickles obviously having some incredibly clutch moments coming up to this Deelo. Now we'll see who they put in. I actually don't even know who they got put in yet, but we know Banthador on the other side as the keeper chaser, how impactful he is. Not having that type of energy on Broomstick Bandits that's got to hurt.
You know what? On one hand, yes, absolutely, that you have that synergy built up across the day's matches. That's rough to see that taken away. On the other hand, Pickles, they're old, they're soggy. Let's get a nice fresh cucumber in here. Maybe just having someone fresh with a new perspective on the game, on the pitch, could get you a bit of that stamina back on your wings, a bit of wind beneath them to rise you on the current to victory. So on one hand, yes, tragic that we don't see Pickles this time around for the finals. On the other hand, maybe it's an opportunity we just can't see quite yet.
Maybe it is. And let's not forget about the other members on Broomstick Bandits. Phoenix has actually been coming in, getting some really clutch scores, getting some really clutch stitches. I mean, he's at the end of the day not someone you could sleep on. And Jinx actually getting some really clutch bludger kills, killing Johnny early on, taking stitches before Witches out, which was a huge upset that no one saw coming. And being able to help Phoenix get this far on stitch catches. I mean, they're still two very, very talented guys on that side to go against Harry Potter, excuse me. But we've seen that Harry Potter defense, Deelo. I mean, That's a lot to ask for, getting across that half court side. I mean, what do you think as far as Yukio and J Mauler go? What's the game plan going in, knowing that there will be a new keeper on the other side?
I think you immediately want to put them on edge. The fact that they are a bit unstable with this, obviously, again, it can be that new, fresh bout of momentum. But as soon as things start to wobble, suddenly that might turn into internal tilt. The team synergy falls apart. The comms get blocked by chatter that's a bit more critical than constructive. And then we can see the threads unravel. So a good way to go with it here is to try to instantly get some really great synergetic plays. I want to see some good shuffle passing. I want to see this keeper's head on a 180 swivel. Just keep them with eyes in the back of their heads so they don't know where to see the quaffle coming from up next.
Can he do what Pickles has done for this team, though? Or can he provide a whole new dynamic that they can take advantage of? Hopefully they find out quick, and we will certainly find out soon enough, Deelo.
Tux, man, hey, look good, feel good, could very well be the philosophy. It's not a Hagrid mask, but you're still feeling nice and dripped out here as we're off to the races and on the pitch. It's going to start off with possession going the way here of Harry Potter. They're trying to just close that gap with the quickness. It's not going to be put in Yukio's hands. Instead, they're just waiting for the ball. It's not going to get into their possession. And now here comes the chance for the counter. No, instead, it's going to continue that aggression. Banthanor puts it in for the first shot on goal.
That has got to be the real thing that Broomstick Bandits got to look for, even though Tux did get that first stop, which was very good. Those kickouts, man, they hawk them. They do everything they can to steal it, just like Yukio did there. Just turning that good defense to good offense, like I said. And it's so disorientating for a keeper to just switch the chaser and then immediately have to switch back to keeper. And right now, Tux is forcing to stay on keeper because he has low health. He sees that Yukio is standing next to him looking for that kill. He's going to have to really, but he does switch. This will be interesting to see how that works. And his keeper is dead as soon as he switches. Not the greatest, but however, they are getting it upfield. Tux looking in the face of Banthanor, tries to get that pass off of J Mauler, just taking it.
Unfortunately, stolen away. There was a good attempt to try to get some upward grounds and some elevation. It's not going to quite work out. Now we're off to the races here, trying to get the defensive plays going. Looking to try to answer back some of this mounted pressure that Harry Potter's been formulating. A nice bludger in the pocket here of J Mauler, but who can they maul with it is the question. Just bouncing it along, trying to gather some momentum and some steam. It's not going to quite work out for them quite just yet. They still do have it in possession. It's Banthanor bobbing and weaving their way through. Dip, dive, duck, dodge. It's not going to go in.
Tux with an incredible stop, 2 incredible stops already, which is all you could ask for at this kind of position. They're throwing it upfield. Tux already upfield with the quaffle on this chaser side. Look at the space out Banthanor. This is a very tough. He takes a shot. If it was accurate, he would have made it. He was just a little too far to the right. Unfortunate. Yukio taking it upfield now.
Just trying to get a bit of pressure mounted here. It's in the hands of Yukio. A nice weave down the bottom and a shot up top. Makes it 30-0. These quaffle plays, it's going to be their key. And then when Yukio has the snitch in sight, it's only going to get even more dangerous.
Yeah, Broomstick Bandits, once again, they're going to have to find a way to just stop the ball coming from their halftime. Tux with a lot of stops, but still a lot to go through. It's incredibly hard if that ball is just constantly, you're just having to block it. Banthanor with a great block there. Sending it upfield. Banth with the ball again. Going up against Tux. Keeper v. keeper. Banthanor knowing what a keeper can do. Tux obviously going against enough chases. Banthanor actually backing up for some respect. Tux with the grab, unfortunately. Maybe a little bit of desync, maybe a little bit of something, but it does not register. And Banthanor just gets through and gets the score. Very unfortunate at this timing.
Banthanor is the bane of this defense's existence of the Broomstick Bandits, as every single point just seems like a complete robbery. 4 minutes left on the clock, but it's uncontested so far. The aggression shown here by Harry Potter. The boys who have lived, they've gotten this far, and they're not looking to stop now. Another one in there, scored by Banthanor, 50-0.
Yeah, halfway to that 100 mark, and no score yet by Broomstick Bandits. However, they are slightly ahead in the snitch battle, although Yukio getting a nice bump there to close the gap some more. This 30 is going to be very important. Now, although now Yukio now taking the lead, while Banthanor is going up for a score, Banthanor not able to get that score off in time might be the best case scenario at this point for Broomstick Bandits, down 80-0.
That snitch call, when did they even grab that? I didn't even see it. That's why they're the seeker and not me. I'm just the one yapping up top, but with 80 points, seems like they need a lot more than yap from the Broomstick Bandits to get back in this game. You have to let your fancy flying moves do the talking, but they haven't mounted any momentum. Like you said before, Flyrish, any single time they grab a bit of it, that kickback, that steal away. But Tux, at the very least, grabs them on the board. Some momentum for your side, a bit of respite.
Yeah, Banthanor really came out trusting himself that he would get that quaffle. Maybe he should have trusted the kick. Banthanor does not kick on keeper. Maybe he should have gone for that kick while he sat there with Tux to absolutely confirm that he would not get the quaffle for that one-timer. Unfortunately, that is not the case, and Tux is down. Yukio getting a free one there to put it 90-10 and really look for them to hawk this midfield. They are going to do everything they can to catch this ball as it shoves itself out of the post. And as Yukio did, and just going to throw it in for free. 100 game ender.
To 10. At the very least, it wasn't a complete sweep, but those brooms are still rearing up and ready to mop you off of the floor. Beautiful work there by Yukio, absolutely dominating the pitch alongside their keeper. But at the end of the day, it's going to go the way of Harry Potter for game 1. It's a best of 5. You have plenty of games left to go with, but you have to imagine that's a stinging defeat.
Absolutely. And Tux actually came in and did very well, getting their only score, getting quite a lot more stops than I would have expected against an offense of this caliber within Harry Potter. You definitely have to give him credit. But the rest of the team, even him on his chaser side, they have to figure out what to do in that midfield battle. They have to get the ball on Banthanor's side. They have to pressure Banthan more. They can't just let him sit on his chaser and run free on that defense. On the other end, they got to do something about J Mauler as well. J Mauler doing the small things. You may not call it out as much what he's doing, but he's holding that field control. He's throwing those bludgers at the chasers at just that annoying moment, forcing their dodges out so that they just can't, get it upfield as they need to. They won't have all the tools to their arsenal, and they've got to put some pressure. I think that's where they start. They put some pressure on J Mauler to get it upfield, to put some pressure on Banthanor. I think if they do that, they could turn it around a little bit, but they're just such an impressive team, Deelo. It's tough.
Absolutely, but you know what? Speaking of the unsung heroes there, something that might just not go mention, the fact that Tux, despite unfortunately not coming up with the victory side of this game, played impressively. You called out some very, very difficult saves to pull off. It's just that those salvos of shots were too difficult to resist. So we need to be a bit more proactive with these bludgers especially. The keeper can't do it all. The onus is not entirely on them for these defensive end plays. And if they can just get a bit more assistance from the other two backing them up, I think we've got ourselves a real ball game.
I do too. Just a few adjustments can make a whole difference. It goes from 110 and you can make it more of a 60-40 game with just doing the few right things. Again, the quaffle is a slippery thing. And if you could just get it through enough of Banthanor's nooks and crannies there on the keeper end of things, you can get in Banthanor's head. He will start taking some really aggressive approaches that you can dodge from. If they can get that rolling and they can keep that rolling throughout the series, it will. But starting off game 2.
We're roaring, not soaring there, trying to get to a fast start for Harry Potter. Just keep that aggression mounted and you're off to a good race. Gonna be trying to take that away as Yukio, but it's instantly swiped back. There's going. J Mauler passes it upfield, but now could be a bit of trouble there. So out of their hands at this point. Looking to try to keep this on the other half of the court. It's passed in. It's put in. Banthanor on the aggression once again.
Yes, Banthanor getting the score. However, Jinx getting a very quick kill on the beater, taking J Mauler off the beater roll for now. This is something, an aggression he's really going to have to keep up with. J Mauler, not a bad chaser. However, just not his comfortable preferred role.
Just got to keep this aggression going on somehow, but at the right moments. It's nice to get those knockdowns, but if it's when the goal's already shot in, what's the point? You can't quite capitalize. Now trying to do exactly so. It's tossed up, lobbed up. Here comes the kick right in. Yukio, absolutely demonic. 20-0.
What a great shot there. I mean, really took his time, got the drift in, doing everything that he could. He's starting to learn Tux, and that's the scary thing you got to know. They may have watched some of Pickle's games, but now they're adjusting to Tux. Banthanor with that defense going for the Jesus shot. Unfortunately, does not get it. Tux getting that quick kick on him. Banthanor still getting the ball. They are just so oppressively able to just take the Quaffle no matter where it goes. Their positioning is just on another level.
It's immaculate. And if the first shot doesn't go in, hey, guess what? There's 3 more coming at you in a second. 4 goals more than they have on the opposite side. The Bandits need to find a way to steal some points. If at least not through your own means, maybe just try to mess up the scoreboard or something. I don't know. Start tampering with the judges. They need to get some momentum. The Snitch is going to at least grant you an opportunity.
Maybe they need to live up to their name of Broomstick Bandits and just take away the broomsticks in general. Tux getting the 10 points there. Tux being the only one to score so far here. Getting one on Banthanor, impressive as it always is. But yeah, maybe as you said, the Broomstick Bandits got to take away the broomsticks and put them on the ground. Maybe they'll have a bit more of a shot. The Snitch coming out is a 30-point difference. This is huge on the side of Broomstick Bandits to be able to get this. Phoenix dodging bludgers. Yukio taking the lead on it though.
And that's just
right now the
scarier. If they just keep up that pressure on Yukio, man, him alongside Balthanor have been so potent with these offensive. You got a Bludger incoming, but that's just okay. They like the danger. And now you got it in Jay Mauler's possession. They're looking to do just that with this possession, at least trying to move up. They have a bit of momentum here from the broomstick, but it's just not seeming to be that dangerous. They never seem flustered here. The keeper is maintaining firm. Maybe not well enough, though. Tux, once again, showing their stuff.
Tusk getting that too. This is very big. Yukio right now on the lead with the Snitch race going to the red side. That is always dangerous. Unfortunately, catching it. Phoenix had a chance there while it was on the blue side. Just unfortunately did not get that catch on the tight turn. And unfortunately, Yukio takes advantage, changing the game's dynamics. Again, one-sided to Harry Potter. It was just a Snitch catch away from being just in Broomstick Bandits grasp. Banthanor getting a great kick out there, coming out extremely far. Man, he really makes you uncomfortable with just how far out he is willing to go as a keeper.
And Jay Mauler getting the knockdown there. The Dobby shot just cruelly batting them away with that blow, putting in the goal right afterwards thanks to Banthanor. It's just great synergy, great offense, great aggression, and great goal shooting.
And of course, great field awareness. Banthanor actually coming in on a fumbled Quaffle there, just recognizing that his team was in trouble and that the Quaffle could just go up in the air. Yukio taking advantage of another keeper death. And they might do the same thing they did last time. Yukio just holding up by that goal to try to get that quick goal in, and he does, or Banthanor does. And that's it. That is 100-20.
That's all she wrote for game 2. But hey, it's still a best-of-5 series. Broomstick Bandits have a chance to try to steal this series away.
It's not over until it's over. And, you know, the 10-point improvement on the side of Broomstick Bandits, there's always some positives to go into. But they're going to have to come into this final game, you know, and just really – if I'm Broomstick Bandits at this point, I'm telling the team, look, we've made it this far. We can even go further. We have won more than 3 games in a row just to get here. And you know what? At the end of the day, we're going to against a really respectable team. Loosen up. Have fun. Don't overthink it. At the end of the day, it is a bunch of players with controllers and mouse and keyboards. There's nothing that that Harry Potter physically can do better than Broomstick Bandits. They can do anything better if they just put their minds to it.
They've got adjustments, but the issue is any single time they zig, Harry Potter zags. You talked about it on the pitch, the fact that they're making adjustments so quickly from Pickle's play style and now adjusting to Tux. And to be fair, Tux is doing things on both sides of the pitch, but there's only one member that's getting those goals, and you need a bit more than that. So if you are the beater, if you are the seeker, what exact changes in finesse, in technique do we need to see a W here for the Bandits?
I don't even know if it's a technique more of, because Phoenix is staying in there very well. Yukio is just able to hang in there with that oak shaft. I mean, you've got to realize when the timer gets down to 5:05, right before that first stitch comes out, you just got to sneak a fast one on Jay Mauler. You know, he is camping. He knows where the seeker spawns at. He is camping that. He is immediately putting the pressure on them as soon as the seeker spawns. You have to not let Jay Mauler do that. Once you see that 5:05 mark, you've got to put the pressure on. As far as Yukio, again, you don't have to kill him. He's got that oak shaft. He is going to survive almost every bludger, every attack that you throw at him. But that oak shaft is slow. You have to just slow him down, get punches, annoy him. That is what you're going to have to do as far as the seeker beater battle goes.
harass and harangue. That's how you might have your game. We're off to the races here. It's the series point, and it's already looking to be a solid one here. Quaffle scooped up there by an attempt, and it's going to be good. J Mauler, hey, the beater gets some love, and they're already beating into the punch. 10-0 for Harry Potter.
J Mauler historically really good at those dives and actually getting in for those quick, very early scores before switching over to beater and staying on beater for most of the rest of the game. That was why Jinx was able to kind of get a quick kill on J Mauler last time. Unfortunately, this time not yielding as successful results. J Mauler getting a quick score and still has his beater up and active.
Had an attempt there for the Jesus shot. Not going to quite work now. Possession regained. And a nice elimination there. Going to be troublesome as we just try to get a bit more momentum. Keeper keeping it in play. And now it's passed upward. It's going to be all up to Banthanor. From one end of the pitch to the other. They look for the shot. It's not going to go. Tux holding firm.
Tux doing everything he can to not be the one that gets clipped on. Poor Tux coming in. Final game against Banthanor. And Banthanor is doing everything he can to just hit that Jesus shot.
Tux instantly gets wiped away by the opposing keeper. This violence is absolutely unamounted from our friends on Harry Potter. They go dive deep. They try to pick up the Quaffle. It's still a bit awkward. That's okay. We're just going to get some bludger beaters in instead. It's back in our possession. It's Yukio, the one who you want. Speeding, Tokyo drifting their way through the pitch with style. It's stolen away. Here's the chance to counter.
Tux taking on Banthanor, but good job by Broomstick Bandits. Their keeper died, yet they still just, stalled enough for their keeper to come back to life. J Mauler stunned, almost half health. Big here for while the Stitch is coming out that J Mauler is not full health. THG Jinx doing everything he can. And Tux getting another score. Tux just coming in for Broomstick Bandits, putting it all on the line. No matter what happens, Tux needs to hold his head high.
Yeah, this is no longer a sub. This is absolutely a dub of a substitute for your team. They've been putting in their all, their heart and soul into this game like they've been a veteran. And at this point, though, the veterans are coming right back for you. It's going to be, again, the keeper, Banthanor, the bane of your existence, and now the bane of that lead, 2010.
Banthanor breaking the tie. Obviously, the snitch battle going on with a little bit of a lead here for Broomstick Bandits, although quickly not becoming a lead and becoming more tied up. This is big, being down by 10. If you're Broomstick Bandits, you can put a lot more resources into this snitch. Even if they give up one goal, they will still have a 10-point lead at the end. Yukio just getting those bumps in, though. Very, very dangerous on the Oak Shaft. Just Phoenix
could very well grab it for themselves. Yukio, with that snitch pull, might just have secured themselves the first Quidditch Competition Cup. 50-10. 40 differential. It's nothing unheard of to come back, but it's certainly dire, Flyrish.
Phoenix getting a score in there with a beautiful one-timer. Very rare to get those on Banthanor, and obviously something to hopefully get some momentum in the way. Yes, obviously 30 points is not a lead that is secure by any means. Harry Potter definitely has to keep their foot on the gas, but the way that these first two games have gone, Broomstick Bandits, now down by 40, are really going to have to find some sort of magic, some sort of strat to just be able to get into this game, to make it something for when the Stitch comes back out again, to have some hope. Because right now, if you're Harry Potter, you need one more score and a Snitch. This game's over.
At this point, 3 minutes left. You've got to imagine on their last reserves of energy, but they can still do it. They just need to find a rallying point. It might be right now. Unfortunately, the keeper gets that pass down to Yukio. Not who you want to see it in. Beater got that bludger in pocket as well, looking for the Dobby shot to try to find an unlucky target. At the very least, you stun Yukio in place. This could be your chance to counter as they move down the field on the Banthanor.
Tux getting in another score. Huge for them, down by 30, keeping this as alive as he can. To go back to another score, though, or a score that did not happen, credit to Yukio. Yukio seeing one of Broomstick Bandits holding for a one-timer and just punching him, forcing that score that would have gone in otherwise to not go in. Huge awareness by Yukio, now taking it downfield and forcing it back to 40. Broomstick Bandits are just going to have to do everything they can here. Snitch coming out in 5 seconds. They need to get it down to 30. They need to not allow scores. Because at this point, when this Snitch is caught, there's not going to be a lot of time for scoring left.
I mean, if the Snitch is caught, it's going to be over at this point, and it's been found, it seems. Go find it right now. You're seeking time, and it's time to seek maybe a potential victory of this series for Harry Potter at that same point. You did get 80-30 now, so it's just narrowing that lead. The Quaffles are becoming less and less important here for our friends on the Broomstick Bandits. It's all about the Snitch.
And Phoenix is unfortunately already dead as Seeker. Yukio is running free at this very current moment. Jinx doing his best to hit Yukio. J-Mauler is low on health. This is not undoable. You got to get some hits on J-Mauler so that you could get more hits on Yukio. Yukio so much health in that Oak Shaft, though. It's going to be so hard.
They've got the health, but it's slow and steady for them once they get the bump. They're going in for it. Banthanar takes out the 10-piece. It's only 1 minute remaining and 1 goal left on the chopping block. At this point, all hopes are in that small golden sphere. And with 50 seconds left, Phoenix in the lead, trying to just wrap their fingers around their one hope to stay in this game.
Jinx getting a final kill on last minute kill on J-Mauler there, but it may just not be enough. Tuck's getting a score though. That's huge. Yukio, unfortunately.
No! Yukio with that takes down the Bandits. Their mischief's been managed. Harry Potter take the QC Cup.
What an incredible finals. Yukio catching every snitch, I believe. The Bandits looking at that gold, yet Harry Potter, true to his name, true to the lore of who he is, it's just always going to come out on top. It's hard to beat lore accuracy there, Deelo.
Canon events at the end of the day.
Events.
You know what? They can say that we were fighting up against mountains. We were fighting up against the loss of Pickles, but I will say, Tux absolutely proved their valor on the pitch.
Everyone needs to go tell Tux what an incredible job he did. Tux came in. I don't know how much synergy he had with that team if they have practiced him as a backup at all. Nonetheless, regardless, I know in all practice they had Pickles as the main. For Tux to come in there against the face of that team, team to come in, block some goals, get some score. I mean, obviously the leading scorer of that team for the finals. I mean, it impressive work, Obviously, he came in with a lot of confidence, a lot of heart. He said, I'm going to do the best that I can, and he did. He should be very proud of himself.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, all the players on the pitch should. They made it far. They were the underdogs, scrapping their way to the top, to the Great Hall of Hogwarts. Unfortunately, they just couldn't quite find a seat at the table. Harry Potter's the chosen one, after all, and it seems that, for this cup at the very least, we're going to stick to that same line of the story. But that being said, if we had to isolate maybe one play in mind, one real moment that sticks out from these final series, Flyrish, what comes to mind?
Man, honestly, just all the quaffles that Banthanor and Yukio were to take. I know you said one play, but it's really just one aspect. All the quaffles,
True.
That could go 50-50 in the air. Again, really shout out to Yukio on one of those shots that that Phoenix would have made had Yukio just not come up from behind and punched him out of that one-timer. That shot in the final game could have gave them, only a 20-point deficit. And with how close that snitch was, it could have gave them enough confidence to really, even take a very short-held lead even for a moment, or even give them the victory. But Yukio's just field awareness, getting that punch in there at the very end, I think ultimately crushed the soul of any chance of Broomstick Bandits coming back. So not that was the most impressive play or the most flashy play, but if a play that probably ended the game right then and there was probably that one tackle.
Sometimes Madam Hoosh doesn't see the violence happening on the pitch, and unfortunately some below-the-belt blows are allowed. Nonetheless, though, some brilliant stuff we've seen here. Excellent work to both teams. But that being said, that is all we have here for you today for the KC Competition Cup. We got a few more brief words from our owner there, my friend Snaffle, who put this all together. Please make sure, give immense thanks to my man as he steps up back to the pitch for putting this all together. It was not easy to coordinate all these witches and wizards to get it all done, but that's all we got here from me and Flyrish. You also heard the vocal talents of KingFisher alongside Blue, so please make sure to give them their credits and flowers as well. With that, that's it from us.
There we go. Maybe I should, yeah. I should learn to unmute the mic. I don't know what to say. Like this was a great success for what it was, and I feel like this was the proof that we needed that Quidditch Champions can indeed be a big esport. I hope some Unbroken or maybe WB devs watched it. I saw Mac Joe there. You better push this as much as you can. That being said, I want to thank all the teams. I want to thank all of our great casters. I want to thank Deelo and Flyrish and Blue and KingFisher. Unfortunately, Blue and Fisher had to leave early, but I hope they'll see this. And yeah, there isn't much else to say. I hope the next time we start doing this, there will be custom games and there will be a spectator, because my god, this was fun, but the way we made it work, like, oh dear. The different programs that had to be on and the graphics having to be done on the fly. But yeah, I think it was a great success at the end. And I appreciate everyone who was watching, and that's it from me. And thanks to Sarek as well, of course. Like Sarek was my co-admin here, and he was doing the viewpoints of the other team in every match. So thanks to him as well. Thanks to everyone playing. Thanks to the viewers. That's it. Waiting for the next one. See ya. All right. Thank you so much, guys.